Ahead of the biggest earnings report this quarter and this earnings season, we're looking at a bit of a muted start here for markets. Bit of a wait and see ahead of Nvidia coming up after the close tonight. We just got August balance of trade. Yeah, some economic data to deal with this morning. 56.6 billion on the overall number. The consensus negative 63 billion. So lower than expected there. Exports for August, 280 billion versus 280.5 billion on the prior number. Imports come in 340 billion versus 358, so downside ever so slightly there. 341 was the forecast Wednesday, so we'll get some energy data coming up at 10:30 this morning. That is about it. That's where we are sitting so far this morning for the S&P SPY. So a little bit of a bounce back here so far this morning, but the market waiting to see from Jensen coming up after the close tonight. The biggest report of this earnings season by far.
So much riding on this, and whatever sector you look at, chips, energy, it's all riding on Nvidia, at least locally. Lots to talk about today, guys. Target reporting, not good. Down 3%. Lows, kind of the opposite of Home Depot that we saw yesterday. Good report, they're up 5 2/3. Nvidia, as we mentioned, of course. Tesla getting the nod from Arizona for its robo-taxi program in CEG, Constellation Energy, Brendo. Obviously, Microsoft looking at opening up that nuclear power plant. They got the nod from the Trump administration. Meta winning that FTC lawsuit. Yeah. And MP getting the nod today from Goldman, up 8% here in the morning.
One of the worst off still, if you go to a daily charts, is Meta in a huge drawdown, 20+% to the downside off recent highs. So finally a small win anyways for Zuck and crew. Here's Tesla, a little bit of relative strength here with the overall market back to the upside this morning. You mentioned that Arizona note. They're going to be able to start the autonomous ride-sharing service in Arizona. So good note there for Elon and crew. Back and forth yesterday along with the rest of the market. Bit of a choppy day. Lots to consider here this morning, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. And
morning.
We always call it the Super Bowl of the earnings season.
I think it is, right? Right at the end.
Yeah, it's like the championships, but there's a lot to get to before we get to Nvidia at the after the bell, right? Like we've got Target and Lowe's doing some different things. You've got metals moving. Silver and gold are strong this morning. MP Materials is making some power moves. We actually had Bullish reported. Bullish's first report. So crypto's in play. I wish I could tell you that it was back and holding some of the gains from yesterday. It's not. The market's trying to hold, but a lot of the crypto names not really holding the same way they were yesterday. Bullish actually not moving. You know what? Calling me a little bit surprised. This is one name I thought would be a little bit more exciting after its report. Only 1.4% after you've been cut more than in half from its IPO. Still worth putting on the watch. Might have to wait to see an open if this will actually put up some volume here on Bullish. But circles on my mind, MP Materials on the mind. Of course, you got to have the chips on your mind. In addition to
the bananas were here today. All right.
Our morning banana.
I actually like the plums were pretty good the last couple days. Yeah, the plums were. It doesn't really matter. How's it going, Randy? Good? Everything's all right? Good. Oh, we got more work happening over there?
Oh, yeah. I see.
Okay. It'd be interesting. We should show a picture of the back somehow. Maybe when Ramin gets here, she has that.
Like a before
camera that she carries around.
What?
Yeah. That was lit up yesterday afternoon. Yeah.
See, MP Materials right there.
I think that looks pretty good on that board. Like, just gives a nice little view there.
I love it.
MP, and then everyone can see what's going on. Nvidia. See. What was that? What's the green? Here, let's turn around. What's the net? Cloudflare.
It's weird how fuzzy is in our program.
Must be from yesterday.
But it's so clear.
I know, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Wait till people see what we're gonna do here. All right. Yeah. Google up again, 1.5%. I mean, this name just keeps on going, so we're really happy with that one. I mean, obviously, it had a nice little downside play there yesterday into the close, 284. I mean, the whole market gave it up right near the end of the day, and then nice to see a battle back here for Google. I have Tesla on my mind today. Again, like Tesla yesterday was huge. Like I was saying, it was one of the better trades was the best trade I put on yesterday. Oops, there's the Tesla chart. So up to 1.5% rate now, trying to kick it out. So we're going to wait to see a 404. Like yesterday, we had to deal with all this and eventually caught that, which was great. And then, the trade that we had yesterday, that was the banger right off the open. And it wasn't even right off the open. It was a couple minutes in. you know, we just got this whole move. So we had pretty much this whole move downside there yesterday, looking to maybe do that again if we can get somewhere near that breaking spot of 235 for AMD. So yeah, just a little bit of noise today because we do have, as Neil mentioned here, a little bit of an event happening this afternoon. It's going to be Nvidia, and I think the 180 is going to be an awesome level today. If it can come back into that, we can see that again, but probably a little sideways action on this name unless the market does something for Nvidia here heading into what should be a big report tonight. Also, Palo Alto tonight, too. I mean, there's lots happening.
It's not only
Target and lows this morning.
Micron was moving a bit in the pre-market as well. Just worth keeping an eye on. I couldn't actually find a story to maybe explain this one away, but I mean, obviously, as you can see, like it's flat now, but it actually dropped about $4 or $5 on some volume, and it's not crazy volume, but it's decent enough volume, so worth keeping an eye on Micron. Look, the chips are all going to be in play on NVIDIA Day, but anything that starts moving out of nowhere, I want to keep the side eye on, and still keeping the ear to the ground, just in case there is something specific with these guys. But you know what? Got a lot to cover, obviously, so let's get back over to the desk and get started.
MP Materials flying around here so far this morning on a new deal to build rare earth refinery in Saudi Arabia. So MP to the upside in a big way here. The Saudi campaign, I guess, rolled through the White House yesterday with all sorts of announcements. You and I were talking about the soccer angle that was along for the ride yesterday with Donald Trump. But yeah, MP one that can get going here. We're back to 64, 65 even, probably next stop here for MP.
Yeah, and they got the nod today from Goldman, Brendo, initiating coverage, and not just initiating, but initiating with a buy and a $77 price target. That's obviously well below the 100 and change that we saw the price move to when the trade kind of spat between the U.S. and China happened over rare earths. Really, the price target here implies a 32% upside. They say, look, MP is the largest rare earth producer in the Western Hemisphere. It specializes in all the rare earths, key magnets as well. And that's big for North America because China controls 90 to 90% of the refining capacity and some like 70 or 80%, Brendo. We also know that they have a deal with the Department of Defense, which guarantees them a floor pricing of $110 per kilogram for this neodyne, I don't even know how to say it, Brendo, but it's NdPr oxide for 10 years, which helps stabilize earnings because what was happening in those cases where the Chinese were coming in, they were dumping the product to artificially lower the prices, and then they were running Western companies out of town. So by guaranteeing a floor price, you're guaranteeing a minimum revenue for the company, and it helps it survive.
So here's the, I was just scanning through this really quickly. Here's the actual press release this morning. Department of War involved in this with, again, MP Material and the Saudis. But I didn't see an actual dollar amount in here that this is going to be worth over the next little while for them. But yet another government contract here, guys, for MP.
Yeah, this one, it's kind of already gone a little bit here. So, yeah, what are you going to do? Had a bit of a different plan of action before this like local breakout here that we're going to be playing off the prior highs. But now that you've already made the gap, so like you fill the gap pretty much all the way into 65 in MP. But this was sort of the thing, like the stock's valuation is kind of nuts and it's going to be a little bit aggressive at this point, and it was one of those names that was beaten up from the highs almost the most. But it was a tricky one because if you waited till the 200 period to buy it, you didn't get anything, but you know you were starting early. So I got really a very small piece what I wanted in the long term on this. But for the day trade, I don't know that I want to buy this at the open at 66. So I'm going to stick to looking for a dip buy. Go back over to the 15. Looking for a dip buy, maybe we go for the 63 area. If you come all the way back in the prior highs, maybe you get that kind of a gift. Remember, there's a bit of a short float that's a factor here as well for MP. But you know, this move is already pretty ridiculous. 9%, 10% to the upside. Let's see if it can pull back off of 65 and try to play off of some prior consolidation areas there. Yeah, they're in play. I already said that some of the metals are going to be in play here today. You got to look for where the kernels of strength are sometimes in this market. we're kind of flat, maybe slightly up, but that hasn't mattered too much. Like that opening drive on the futures, like one direction or the other, tends to be ridiculous. So you don't want to get trapped, buying a high if we end up with one of those dumps. So I'm not going to try to hit the key up here at 65. Rather get some of the levels I liked when I sat down this morning.
I know Neil's been looking at silver a little bit. I'm looking at it today. Back in a little bit, up 2.5% rate, well, 2.2% rate now. Just thinking about silver, if it does dip back into this 200 period moving average. Gold also up today. So, I kind of like the way that this is piecing out here on the daily. Like this is 46 down into here. And if metals are going to be talked about again, silver, I mean, there's also gold. There's, it's a completely different business than obviously MP materials, but this is a decent level here. So 46.50 or so for silver. We'll see if it can fall back into this lap, and then we'll deal with it if it breaks 46. I don't think we're going to get that kind of action. And then gold today as well, right? Gold is really starting to go right now. Gold up 1% again here, 380 coming back. So there it is. Like gold dip buyers potentially win again as well. Like dip buyers and MP are winning, dip buyers in all these names. Nice pull back in. You had a nice move, then you pulled back again, and now you're going to try to look for that 390 one more time. So yeah, it's been pretty good, man. I haven't bought any silver, but I bought some gold. So we're waiting to see if that can pop up. I'm just long right here where we are right now. And then of course, IBIT, maybe we'll talk about Bitcoin. Maybe I shouldn't go here right now, but 91.5 down. And I said when I came into Neil, I said, today we're actually up on the Nasdaq, but down on crypto, which is kind of different than what we've seen. And some of you that want to decouple this thing, it would be happy with this, right? It's already decoupled, but this has been a nice move down here for crypto and probably giving us another opportunity to think about, these levels if we can come in again, like breaking the intraday 5150 level. Would be something in crypto as well, like play the momentum to the downside. And that 5150 could be a good breaking spot there for IBIT and BTC today. So I don't know, I'm surprised. I thought Bitcoin would have been a little bit higher there today, considering some of the good stories that we have.
Yeah, it was strong yesterday-ish.
Yeah, so I thought a little bit of a carry forward. Let me just do a little health check here on Palantir. 170, okay, I got low as 164 yesterday, I think. Yeah, 165 and change here, so Palantir also potential bottom-ish area. Like yesterday there was a lot of panic in the open. They even sold off Google $10 or $8, whatever it was there for Google. They sold off Tesla, broke through 400. We looked at that yesterday, obviously. AMD tanked $10 yesterday right off the open. So I want to look for these for some support areas, maybe 166 and change for Palantir. So. But yeah, that's what's going on, my guy. What's up, Christopher Ocean and everybody in the chat? I mean, hey, if you're in the chat, thank you so much. Let me just double check here. I'm going to say
21.4. There it is.
Maybe it tells me this is right, but how could it be when we have less, like the viewers we have right now? We have like 4,000 or 5,000, and it will ramp up to 10,000. You just think by doubling the viewers, that would change
the percentage can't
a little bit.
No, it's
there, but
it's highly improbable statistically that could actually always be 21.4%. But we thank you. We thank you that.
Yeah, we thank everybody.
Everybody that is subscribing, and if you're not, well, guess what? If you want to be in said chat that was just being mentioned,
get in that chat.
Then make sure you hit that subscribe, and then you can get yourself on the visualizer by typing in with a $sign. Everybody. Whatever name might be there. It's annoying, but I actually have to either
MP.
look up or behind. I see Bull in there, MP's number 1, TMC, SGBX, and NET.
Yeah, well, NET is
we're still hating on Cloudflare?
No, it's probably not reset from yesterday, is it? Oh, no, did you reset it?
I don't think I did.
You must have. It only has 4 subs. Yeah, it only has 4 subs.
It's got to be. Cloudflare actually caught a bit of a bid yesterday. That's another one. But SGBX, that one I'm not familiar with. Safe and Green is the name of the company. Guess we got ourselves a small cap runner. This will be up your radar, apparently, Sharif. It's above VWAP. And guess what price it's at? You can't make it up. Trading at exactly 420 right now. See? Look at that.
GBX.
Look at the timing.
I don't know. Well, go long or short. Don't know exactly what that means.
No, I have no idea what it means. It's just when you have a number in your mind, or you just think anecdotally that it always comes up, you just always see it. It's like that. What's the gym? 23. I think he became obsessed. It was like a movie he did years ago where he's obsessed with like number 23, but you see patterns all over the place. You're just going to notice it more and more.
If you're looking for stuff, normally you'll find it.
Exactly. That's sort of the thing. So you're going to find that 420. But SGBX, I don't know the story here, but I do know that it's a former split or reverse split. And every time I see one of these charts, it just reminds me, if something reverse splits, just wait for your chance to short it. And another one that did the same thing.
That was a reverse split. Okay, so that is definitely a short at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, yeah, let's go back over to the debts. There's also SEMR ripping up here, SEMrush. So there's
that's a deal, 12 cash.
Oh, that's a deal. Oh, okay. I didn't even read. Oh, yeah, there it is. Acquire the company 12. Okay, yeah. So that one's making. I was just looking at our list, and then again, Brendan and Sharif may talk about. Are you guys talking about Plug Power? Because I don't want to bury the lead, but this is also downside here in a convertible. So there goes Plug Power down there to the downside pretty aggressively. $1.68 right now. So Dane Generous here in the chat, what's up, Dane? Mentions, is it cold up there in Canada? Because it's pretty cold down here. I'm like, oh, where are you located? Thinking that maybe he's located in Philly or New York or East Coast. Wisconsin, yeah. Southern California, okay.
SoCal,
So it's cold down there, eh? Okay. I think it's about 0 here. It's about 30 Fahrenheit, 30 to 40 Fahrenheit, and that's pretty much what it's been doing for the last little while. But I feel like it's November the 19th. I feel like it's been a little colder than normal the last week or so. I don't know.
Feels like it.
Maybe it's because we had a pretty good warm spout there in the fall. But now it's getting to be cold. We've only had one kind of little snow, and that prompted me to get my snow tires on, and then that happened one day, and then it hasn't snowed since, and not even come close. So, yeah, the car's got the snows on right now. Love from India. What's up, Tushar? We should come down to India. Why don't you come over here and see what's going on? We want to show you everything. That way I can save a couple $10,000 in plane tickets. 45 degrees. In Southern California, that is freezing. I'd
rather be where John Tantrum is, 85 in St. Pete. I can with that. That's more like
Cali having some
Cali's that cold,
issues over there.
Y'all must be freaking out if it's that cold in Cali. That's for sure.
Gotta speak to your governor over there. See what we can figure that out. All right.
Yeah, defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it totally does. But who pays more tax, California residents or Ontario residents? I don't know.
That's actually one state where I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, we're paying. We pay about 50%.
Yeah, we're
on our income at the highest bracket. So, Joe, how's it going today? You good? All right, let's go find out.
All right, what's going on, everybody? And happy hump day. Let's get right into it. What's so funny, Sharif? I'm listening. Hey, yeah, what's so funny, brother? What's going on over there, man? All right, guys, let's get right into this. DoorDash is going to be at the top of the list this morning, guys, going from a hold to a buy, up about 2%, a little bit over that, guys, in the pre-market sessions, getting that upgrade by Jefferies. And then we have Lazy Boy also getting the nod as well, too, guys, up 11.5% this morning. Price target raised to $39. And then we have McDonald's by Guggenheim giving that price target a solid nod. 310 is going to be that price target. And Medtronic as well, too, guys, by Robert W. Baird. 109 is going to be that level. So we'll take a look at what we got going on with Home Depot. Reporting yesterday, KGI Securities going from an outperform to a neutral, so a little bit of a downgrade. Still positive on the session, up 1%. QuantumScape QS there, guys, by HSBC down 2 and roughly 3/4. Price target's going to be $10.05 on that one. And then Klarna, as Katina Man was just mentioning not too long ago, Wolf Research saying lowering that price target to $45. And then we have PDD as well, too, guys, at the bottom of the list. Bank of America lowering that price target to $140. Up almost 1%, 0.9% to be exact, guys. Now let's take a look at some of the options activity. So we have AMD, Meta, and Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, at the top of the list, we at that 250 strike price, yes, that's correct, 250, we have 17,300 contracts currently open, with yesterday's session putting in 25,800 at that specific level, all right, guys? And then Meta as well, too. Bleeding below 600 on yesterday's session. Open interest, highest of the strikes, 6,000 100 there at that 610 strike price with 15,700 contracts traded yesterday. That's quite a bit for Meta. Now, as for WBD, we had 23,800 contracts at that $24 strike price with 16,400 contracts traded on the session. Now, as for the call of the day, we're looking at Google strike price 300. That is going to be expiring on the 21st with a relatively tight spread. Gets $6, but yesterday we seen in the likes of NVDA spread. Don't forget they're reporting after the bell as well too. $6. We see a $1 spread within NVDA. All right, guys. The delta, considering it's an out-the-money strike, we're sitting at 0.136. Gamma exposure relatively low, which is positive, and at-the-money IB is sitting right around where we like this, 46.4%, guys. Toyota.
I don't know that company. Say it again.
I think they're a tire company. Toyota?
Tire company.
Tire. It's funny, Sharif and Joe today matching shirts once again. So it'll be
They do that a lot, though. That's pretty normal.
Aren't you both wearing white?
That's very normal.
I'll let the decision.
That looks like, yeah, it looks like it's more of a, it is a blue.
Is it more of a blue?
But you know what? On camera, y'all can't tell that. They look the same.
No, I was going to say, yeah, there we go. It's the waiter midday show. Look, you know how waiters, they all wear the nice white, crisp shirt.
Exactly.
We got a couple waiters coming through. But it should be fun, man. They're looking sharp over there. Thanks, Joe, for that. Yeah, heading into NVIDIA earnings, obviously those options are going to be highlighted, and the volatility is going to be increased on over there. You talked about Klarna; they reported yesterday, so that could be worth a look. Bullish reported here today; that'll be on our radar as well. I talked to Brian yesterday about all those IPOs that have just been a complete hot mess disaster. Like StubHub is $12, Circle is back underneath. Like a lot of people are looking for Circle, and I remember when the stock was like at $100 and 113 and 120, and everyone, I don't know why in the chat, people were like, "Oh man, when are you buying Circle, and when are we getting involved in Circle?" And
someone asked me yesterday, I was like, when I was buying.
Yeah, I know. I think they're always asking us this in the chat, and
never.
Like when it was up here, we were saying like, Circle probably, and even when it was up here, it was like, okay, Circle, good chance of it coming back into this 110, 113, something like that area. But then when it doesn't hold, it's a whoops. And all the way back down, and then you have it. I mean, obviously it's getting hit with the uncertainty here. I mean, not uncertainty, but with crypto going down, Circle can't be really good. But what's StubHub's excuse? Like, that is the same break, basically. It didn't have anywhere near the success of Circle. So if you're in StubHub, you cannot possibly, it's impossible to be up on StubHub. There's not one level in here that if you bought, like you're at lows today, $12. Like this is StubHub's IPO. Thanks for coming to market, And then we just looked at Klarna, and then today.
You could have bought it at $3.59 yesterday, and then you'd be up 10 cents.
Yeah, if you can find liquidity for someone to actually punch you out of that. Someone would have to buy it first. And then bullish as well. Like, thanks for the IPO, guys. This has been great. So yeah, not great. And then the House of Cards, CoreWeave. I mean, what else can we say about this one? This was another name that, like, when it was all the way up here, man, it was just an obvious. I mean, if it's that obvious, then I would have put puts on something, but I don't really trade options. But this is the one that maybe if you're looking for some levels, this could be an interesting play tomorrow, especially with Nvidia, and if we hear about some supplier demand issues, maybe with CoreWeave. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough ride here for a little bit. But
no good IPOs.
No, not too much.
Miami Exchange, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, that's right. You picked that one.
It's the only one
on the charts there. MIAX.
How much else? I'm still, and for a couple of people put this in the chat. I also don't know why Micron's down over 1%. Still really looking for a story here, because the market is up, and it's just kind of holding down here. But nothing as of yet. We'll keep her ear to the ground. I actually just messaged it there to see if she actually found anything, because I was just hunting for it. Like, a lot to cover. I just want to throw, because one of the names that's, we talked about, we just went through a whole list of IPOs, and kind of, you miss bullish because it's not, like, it wasn't that bullish. Webull, but it's also trying to form a bit of a bottom at some fresh lows. Zooming in a little bit here, it just held $8. Like Circle's got a bottom that's being made in here, and look, maybe not. You probably need to break through the 850. But if this breaks out 850, and we don't have a disaster warning, obviously a lot of this is prefaced in the market just not heading down right away. Like this is a name which is trying to put in a rounded bottom. So a lot of these types of setups, I actually have eyes on Circle specifically for that today, because, pardon the pun, but Circle has gone pretty much full circle. You are now, like, you're trading underneath like where we were in the afternoon on the first day, which is crazy. And it's double bottomed at 75-ish, and a potential breakout here. The problem with this is when I was looking at this chart, I kind of expected if the market was up that the Bitcoin would be up, and Bitcoin's not. So without some strength in Bitcoin coming back, maybe getting through 92, I don't know if this has the breakout in it. And if we lose 90, I'd actually rather be short this name. So I'm gonna let this one decide. If it breaks out above 78, then I'm willing to join, but I don't want to be sitting in the middle of the range here on Circle. But all the way back to its day one afternoon prices, yeah, if no one's willing to buy here, then forget about it. Back to the desk.
All right, let's talk a little Boeing here. We'll get to the overall market in a second, but Boeing downside a little bit yesterday, but we are starting to bounce back a bit. They did come up with another order here. They're at an event in Dubai, Fly Dubai it's called. 75 new MAX jets at Fly Dubai. I saw the airline actually earlier, but I don't see it in front of me right now. But an order for 75 more planes, not bad.
Yeah, the Emirates airline, Brendo. A fantastic airline, obviously. Look, this is a good deal, and we heard from the Emirates as well that they wanted to buy that new variant of the 777X. I think it was a 777-10. That was also being discussed. Obviously, the 737 MAX is more for local flight, as it is a smaller airplane. Separately, though, Fly Dubai also getting into Airbus's good graces here, Brendo. They're picking up 150 A321A neos, obviously a direct competitor for Boeing, perhaps maybe while we're selling off a little bit.
Yeah, not a huge amount of volume here, but noteworthy. Anytime Boeing gets a win, it's worth talking about. As you mentioned, tons of things as far as retail is concerned to get to this morning. We'll touch on a few of those coming up. Yet another, where's Randy? Randy's back in the back. Hey, yet another recall for Ford.
I saw that.
It's Wednesday, Randy, so it's recall Wednesday for Ford. 200, what was it? 229,000 this time?
Basically, yeah, exactly. it's just so much bigger every time. No, I hate to laugh. So here's what the deal is, guys. The issue is over the instrument panel display failure, Randy. It's for 2025 and 2026 Bronco and Bronco Sport vehicles. The displays don't show critical information such as warning lights or vehicle speed, and there's about 230,000 of these issues, Brendo, because there's a lot of these on the road.
You don't need warning lights. Come on, who needs warning lights? All right, I mean, we'll get into a few other things here as we get into the rundown this morning, but lead the way here with a look at the overall market.
Absolutely. Let's start with where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. We continue the blood down. We closed out yesterday, guys, 66.40. That's where we closed out yesterday, with the overnight high being 66.68. So look, we're still below 6,700, and we're still not putting any higher lows or higher highs. We're still putting, in fact, the exact opposite. We're going to use 6,600, that area that we defended yesterday, as our first level of support. If we start catching a bid, Brendo, we're not even going to say 6,700. That looks too far. We're going to say 6,675 as that first area of resistance.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the absolutely free watch list. Comes right to your inbox every single day for free. Link is below in the description if you haven't done so. The top link, in fact, in the description will get you to that site. And then, as I mentioned, just need your email address to sign up for the free watch list. A ton of things to get to here this morning. Let's talk some Nvidia ahead of what is to come after the close tonight. We're gapping up a little bit here this morning. Came into long-term support yesterday and held nicely around 180 ahead of what could come tonight. You and I were just talking off camera, the simple fact that what if this comes out, absolutely blows everything out of the water, as they have been.
Yeah.
I'll grab that chart. I was just looking at a crazy chart for their data center revenue specifically. But what happens if that's the case, and then we come in tomorrow and it's down 8 to 10%.
It's not going to be the only one, Brendo. That's the thing. There will be a lot more that's down with it. It will take down a lot of major microchip semiconductor names with it, as well as all the other parts of the stack that we see here with AI. But one critical thing to know, we're still up 35% year to date on Nvidia, but most notably, we're 12% off those October highs. Here's what the market is expecting in terms of numbers. $1.25 on EPS, which would be a 53% year-over-year increase on the quarter, with about $54.92 billion in revenue being expected here, another 56% increase to what they made last year. The issue, though, I think personally, just if you're asking my opinion, is going to be the call. He's going to be pressed on what Michael Burry's been talking about, the usability or the longevity of these chips, and whether or not they're sort of using creative accounting practices to kind of generate revenue. Also, you've got to assume, Brendo, CapEx will be in focus. You and I talking off camera as well, the amount of money being spent, the burn rate of some of the cash here has investors worried.
And is it sustainable or not? Probably won't hear anything about China. And if he is asked about China, it'll be interesting to see what the response is there. But lots riding on this, guys, to say the least.
Oh, no doubt a lot riding on it. I just don't know what we get that's going to be new. Like, how do we get a surprise? Can they surprise us on margins? Maybe. Let's hear about that backlog of orders just to make sure that that's still in tow. I'm of the mind that the market cap has gotten so big that I don't think we exceed the 7% move. It's not really sure that that's going to end up being the case, but you know what? That's something for after. You know, today, if I'm looking at chip names, it's going to be the others as usual, like AMD, Intel, SMCI. Those are the three favoring 238 specifically on AMD if we get there. And I don't think AMD gets to 238 if Nvidia doesn't break this 185 wall. It's not, you can't really call it a wall because it was just yesterday, really. It spent yesterday underneath, and on Monday was actually a support level. But it's exactly the kind of, if there's buyers above, just be willing to join them when you have a level like this. Like, it's trading away from it in either direction, but if we can't have buyers on the 15 above 185, then I think we go for a little bit of a fade. I'm just going to prefer, again, like two names. I don't know if we get to the 238, kind of the subsequent level on AMD, and then SMCI has a better chance, I think, to get to some of those tops. Did a pattern where this name goes up for a day. It's been going down pretty much every day after earnings, but then when it does an up day, fade the prior high, did an up day, fade the prior high. So that's the play I'm looking for in SMCI. Just willing to be patient, of course. If that initial move, if you're looking for a pop and fade, and the initial move is, what's the word I want to use, like a parabolic candle, then wait for the next 15 minutes to set up. I think that makes a ton of sense. But as far as NVIDIA goes, I feel like anybody playing options might get rinsed. And then everyone selling options is probably going to do well if it doesn't move.
Yeah, so for me, by the way, Ford is up 30% on the year. So, you know, I mean, would you rather be in Ford or Meta? It's a pretty easy question, right? Okay, so here we go. NVIDIA tonight. Look, yesterday we had a huge AMD trade, and I just put out the note. Neil just reminded me that today we have Micron's at some sort of a conference. So I wanted to fade Micron, and I still do want to fade Micron. But at the same time, I really think we should go back to the well if AMD gets going for some reason today up to this 234, 235 area. I still think this is a possible short area that's just, you know, looking for us to at least try it. So into 234 to 235 for AMD short. I mean, this has been obviously really crushed right there. But yeah, the note is now out, and I actually put on Micron, and I was thinking this kind of a short, 233 to 234. I was actually getting it started a little bit earlier into here, 232, try to look at this for a short. I mean, we've been pulling back in, and I just thought this name went absolutely parabolic. And, you know, if there is any sort of a weakness or some sort of a demand problem, which we don't know, we don't think there's a demand problem, but if NVIDIA does somehow guide a little lower, I think Micron will get absolutely clocked. Like, you know, 200 to 190, I think tomorrow for Micron is definitely a spot there. It's been so well traded. Like, this was $60 in April. It went to 260. You're talking about like 4x there to the upside. So there's a lot of froth in this name, I feel like, could come back in. So for me today, looking at Micron, I mean, that's a nice bump up right now. Like when we wrote the note, obviously it was up in this area, 230 to 231, 232, which is where we wrote it. And then we just tanked there pretty nicely to 225, now back up there into 228. So yeah, we've got Tesla on our, we've got Tesla on our mind today, Silver, Micron, and Palantir. So here's Micron right here, 231 to 232 short. So you can go find that on X and on Instagram. But that's one thing that I'm looking at here. All right, crypto talk again. Disappointing today for sure in BTC land.
Yeah, let's go to a daily chart here first. Here's Bitcoin. We're all the way back over here, beginning of the year, sitting at that 91,000, 90, 91,000, depending on when you look at it. We did get below 90,000 briefly. We're back above it now, trying to hold. But I mean, what is it, 25, 26% at this point off the highs here. But coming into, let's be honest, very attractive levels here.
Yeah, I personally like it around here, Brendo, so we'll be adding to the account. Let's talk about IBIT, obviously the largest ETF. Investors pulled $523 million from BlackRock's IBIT ETF on Tuesday, the biggest single day withdrawal since the launch back in 2024. The outflows underscored the severity of Bitcoin's correction after the October all-time high, with BTC, briefly below 90,000, which was the lowest price it's been at since 7 months. IBT is the largest spot BTC ETF, so it is important, obviously. So why are we selling off? Well, a lot of people are saying, look, Brendo, a lot of people are rotating their BTC exposure into gold, and gold's held up quite well during the sell-off. Longer-term holders as well have been taking profits, while treasury firms bought heavily earlier this year. They've paused or slowed down purchase. Let's talk a little bit about those treasury hoarding firms. They accumulated nearly $50 billion of Bitcoin within the last year. Many of the firms now trade at a lower discount than their net asset value, the NAV, and analysts warn that this NAV discount is weighing on spot prices, obviously. IBIT manages $73 billion in assets, and it's down 19% quarter to date.
Yeah, a little bit better off than the underlying. Just getting some U.S. September retail sales data. I'll grab that. Anything significant? Market didn't move on it, but just be aware there's some data coming through now, guys.
Yeah, very different feel to this morning for crypto than yesterday. Like yesterday, it's like you made the test. We made the test under 90,000, right under that support level, and then you regained it, and then it was like a breakout. Like that was, that looked pretty bullish. It's look, it's in a downward trend, but you made a wipeout bottom into, through a key level, recover, consolidation, breakout. Now we're right back where we were, but it's not the same feeling as before. Like yesterday, if we were here, I'd be like, okay, we'll just play the same thing. We're looking for that breakout. And maybe so. And if that does happen, I do like maybe potentially circle for a little bit of a breakout. But if we end up losing this again and get underneath 90,000, I mean, you got to be ready for a 90,000 breakdown, I think, today. But whether it happens or not, I don't know. But like we essentially, overnight, we basically bounced exactly off that 90K, like almost to the penny. So that breaks down, first of all, I could just be shorting IBIT, but I'm gonna be looking at Mara, I'll be trying to short Circle. I just came in yesterday thinking I'm only looking for the long breakout on IBIT. And after, the current action, which is relatively weak, it's undeniable. With that, we've got to start looking the other direction. If 90,000 breaks, got to look for that downside.
Yeah, so I have no idea what's going on with Zcash, but this has gone absolutely we're all sitting here talking Ethereum, talking BTC, and Zcash is just like, what you talking about, Willis? I mean, this has been, we even showed this to Brian Shannon yesterday, and he joked about it. Tom Lee must be pumping this thing. But this is probably overdone. I have no idea what Zcash even does, what problem they're solving, but it's up 10x from October 1st. So Zcash probably on the way down, and I have no idea how to trade it other than, shorting maybe the coin itself, if you can even do that on Coinbase. But this is what Zcash looks like. So just to bring that to everybody's attention there. Without any sort of a reason why, I do not know. All right, so IBIT, I think we're in big time danger here. you know, Nasdaq now finally starting to give it up, and yeah, we're starting to give it up here pretty badly as well. So like I said, you have to be pretty upset, obviously, being in Bitcoin, which I'm in, and I'm upset about it. You know, it's down 30% from its highs. Unlike anything, I mean, sure, there's Meta, there's individual stocks that are like that. So to be picking on Bitcoin, you know, individually, it's, you know, it is trading like a stock, I guess, right now, without any earnings, without any, you know, nothing behind it, no real store of value or anything like that, other than, you know, what people want to pay for it. But maybe it breaks, maybe it doesn't. But this 5150 area, I think you gotta short it and then play it probably back to VWAP or so. So that 5150 break, you play it back to 52, 5180. I think 30 cents or so worth of risk, and then you just kind of sit it in all day, because if the Nasdaq really gives it up, Bitcoin will probably be like mid 80s or something, honestly, by the end of the day. Like if the Nasdaq goes like down 1%, I really think they're gonna come after this again. So just watch out here. I like that break of 5150, and the more I think about it, like I should have put it on the note there, but there it is right there, 5150 for IBIT. It'll be the first break of this level during open market, right? I mean, it's been lower. We know it went through 90,000 already, but not during an open market for IBIT. So. Unless it was Blue Ocean or something. So we'll wait to see here. But 5150 downside for Bitcoin. Look, I wish it looked better, man. I mean, I've lost a third of my portfolio as well, so that does suck. But all right. But I kind of feel like if you own Bitcoin, you get what you get.
Yeah, but
you know,
the market did this in April.
Right.
Either you like it or you don't.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. And I think that's a misleading little headline there. Retail week. Lowe's is retail.
Yeah.
Lowe's is up 5 points today.
Target down, Costco down.
I haven't looked at Costco.
They didn't report
hopefully
yet.
we're not breaking anything over. Let's go to the desk and talk some retail.
You actually see it. Well, I'll tell you in a second. Let's talk about, I mean, take your pick. Yes, Lowe's is up. Home Depot yesterday got wrecked. Target getting wrecked right now. Back to session lows here on pretty ugly numbers for TGT. We'll get to that in a sec. Interesting, though, this new app they're coming out with using ChatGPT. Curated shopping at Target.
I think it's cool. I don't mind it.
Speed things up, I guess, but I'm not sure I even understand what that means exactly. But
look, if you're going to list your products in chat, that's pretty cool, Brando. Like if you're looking for something, you can go directly to the website. I don't think that that's such a bad thing. It's this other part of the AI that I was telling you about here that has me raising my eyebrows. So we'll start with that since I've already mentioned it. So look at this, guys. They're rolling out something called Target Brain, Target Trend Brain. It's a Gen AI tool to forecast trends. So how does it work? Well, it tries to make this synthetic audience AI model, which is supposedly supposed to simulate customer reactions before products go live, improving what they're saying is going to be merchandising efficiency. I don't know how AI is going to know what I like, but that's what the company's saying. Anyway, let's talk about their actual numbers. Revenue decline, Brendo, 25.27 billion, slightly below expectations. Same thing with EPS, $1.78, not immediately apparent whether that EPS number is comparable because there were some one-off lines. But overall profitability dropping 19% year over year. Comparable sales, meaning stores that have been opened up for a year or longer, fell 2.7%. Traffic decreased, Brendo, 2.2%. Customers spent less, 0.5% less per trip. Digital sales, this is the only thing that's good, I guess, on this numbers report here. Digital sales did grow a modest 2.4% and was driven by 35% increase in same-day deliveries. People want their stuff right away, and they're meeting the needs.
And then the other name we mentioned there, Lowe's to the upside, coming back in right now, but trying to hold on a higher pullback maybe. The only miss here is sales for Lowe's. And it's interesting, after we sat here and talked about Home Depot yesterday, and specifically they pointed to the weak consumer, they pointed to a lack of environmental issues that didn't happen this year that I guess they typically rely on. Lowe's comes out on the complete other end.
And Lowe's said the exact same thing, but they actually made money. So kind of gets you wondering exactly why they didn't do that. So they complained also about, you know, not having as many do-it-yourselfers because people are not moving, and HELOC mortgages, still the rates are still a little high, so people have less incentive to kind of upgrade the home that they have. Everything that Home Depot complained about, Lowe's complained about, they came out profitable. Home Depot didn't.
If you drive into one of those big retail complexes where there's a Home Depot on one side, there's a Lowe's across the street on the other side.
Power centers.
Which way do you turn?
That's a good question, Brado. I think because I just see more Home Depots, I just go to Home Depot.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie.
It's habit, guys.
Yeah, Home Depot probably for me.
It depends. Like, I think Lowe's has better like home furnishings and better things like that.
What you're trying to get.
Yeah. Home Depot probably just for lumber and all the everything.
Yeah.
Together, but yeah,
neither of those is Target.
No, neither of those is Target. So I'm in Target, but I'm in just a little bit higher than where we are right now. Look, I mean, I'm in it because I think it should be bought out at some point here. You know, we got in it here. It ripped up to $100. Now it's falling right back in, right into support again. I think it's a buy down here, heading into the holiday season. But yeah, this is one of those ones where, as Brian says, you don't really want to trade it past a 5-day moving average, and right now that moving average, it would be under that. So we got to get above, like almost like this 50 period of $91 or so here for TGT. So I think that's something to look at. Look, you're right at a big spot here. Let's just see if it bounces. Not worth buying any more down here. I'm not going to average in. It's not a huge spot. Literally just bought it one time. And I just sort of do that drip method all the time when I buy shares and everything. Like, and then I get mad. It's kind of the way I trade on the show. It's like, you know, Alibaba, I bought a little bit at 160. You know, so if it goes to 190, I'll be like, I only have a little bit, right? But I do that so that if it does fall in, at least, you know, we have powder or whatever, and try to dollar cost average into names that we like. But if Target's going to put out that quarter, I mean, we know retail is bad. Like, I can't sit here and be like, I'm so mad at Target when a huge, you know, great high quality company like Home Depot is also, you know, near these lows as well. So, but yeah, I think Target gets some activists, Brian Cornell out of there. I think there's some sort of activist play here. I just don't know when, and you never really want to buy based on that kind of speculation, but I feel like it should be bought out at less than $40 billion market cap. I don't know. It just seems low to me.
It is a bit of a flat bottom break today. So if it breaks 85, I think there's something going on. But guess what? Again, day trader LA, I guess to warm himself up with the good feel, because it's apparently very cold out there.
Right.
Although relative to here, it's not so bad. Thank you for the 10 memberships. Oh my goodness, there was just another one. I literally saw another one. Was it under fan funding? There it is, Patty, member for 1 month. Thank you, Patty. Thank you all for this. It's truly a one-of-a-kind trading experience for the masses. Do you use IV percentage and volume as a scanner? I'm learning. Volume, yes, as a scanner. Trade rate, we both use as a scanner as well. I just want to see the velocity of things that are moving, and relative volume, I think, is very important there. I mean, nothing really to add on Target. Look, if it ends up closing underneath 85, I think we're looking at shorting this one potentially tomorrow. Only 3% move. It's not terribly volatile here today. But if you lose this support level, there's really not much left there for Target on the daily. Tesla has lots of support, much lower.
Chopping around here so far this morning. We are higher on the morning, but coming back in a little bit right now. That 408, I guess it was yesterday, ended up being a bit of a problem spot. That's a big number, but there's also the Arizona angle this morning that we touched on if you joined us in the first 30 minutes of the show. But solar energy market driving revenues here projected to reach $18 billion by 2030, which will obviously benefit the solar side of things for Elon and crew, but autonomous with the green light here for Elon over in Arizona.
It's a good look here, Breno, finally getting a third jurisdiction. This is Phoenix. Let's talk about it. They secured the Transportation Network Company permit from Arizona DOT, which is eventually going to allow it to operate a commercial ride-hailing service in the state. They still need, though, more regulatory clearance before they can launch the full robo-taxi. They applied back in July for Phoenix autonomous vehicle testing and approval with both human and a non-human safety driver. They will start, of course, with the human safety driver. Let's talk about what they're doing in Austin and other places. They launched a robo-taxi pilot in Austin using safety valets. They're also quietly running, Brendo, traditional human-driven ride services in the Bay Area. They're sitting in the passenger seat. They're running it quietly because they technically don't have the permit from the state of California. They also aim to remove the safety drivers in Austin by the end of the year, according to Elon Musk.
All right, back to the upside we go here so far this morning for Tesla. I was just checking. We're still kind of in that gap area. If you go out to here, I'll just bring it over. If you just go out to a daily chart here for Tesla holding so far, guys, thoughts here for Tesla?
We're in that gap till we break 420. It did break 420 2 days ago, I think barely, but then immediately gave it up. Today, over under 410. 410 close, 410 resistance, 410 resistance. If this stock closes a 15-minute bar above 410, long to 420. If we get nowhere near it, it might be a short, but like I said, if we're breaking down today, kind of have some crypto adjacent plays under the assumption that I can't see us heading down without a test of 90,000 on Bitcoin. If that doesn't happen, then I might be looking elsewhere. But I keep wanting to say bullish, but between Circle and Bitcoin itself, I feel like if we get a breakdown today, I have a couple of things to look at there. But over 410, I think you close a 15-minute above there, and Tesla's got some serious room to rally. Overall, like the stock had been holding up well, but this hasn't, like we broke trend, and we're just sort of sitting here. So it's got some support in this chop range, and maybe it's just going to go choppy again. And we're just settling into a long kind of whippy Tesla range, which it did 420 to 460. If that's setting up, then your 420 is resistance, and we have yet, I think, to make any kind of a defined bottom yet. Yet being the key point there. And don't sleep on Rivian when that gets going. Just a shout out to Randy.
Shout out to Randy.
Well, the stock's actually been very active.
Yeah, it's a very active stock. It's all right. So one of the biggest trades I've ever put on here happened yesterday with Tesla. So it fell back in. We got 394s, 396s. We did take a lot out underneath VWAP, but then it really started to rip up. And this is not even my best out right there, but it was $12, 394 up to 406, and just rip city there yesterday for Tesla. So, I don't think we get that low, but this is what I want to do today. I want to wait to see if there is a drop that happens relatively early in this name and then pick it up. So it is on here on the note today as a #1 trade between 400 to 402. Right, we had a huge area from yesterday. It kind of bounced around there. Eventually, once it broke it started to go up. So we'll see if there's better market momentum this AM is what we were looking for. But then now that I look to see what the momentum is this morning, it's pretty nicely downside. But look at Tesla, right? It's still holding up. Well, that's great. So here's that 400 to 402, right? Like I said yesterday, one of the biggest trades I've ever put on down here, and we got it. It did go up to 409. I think we had some outs up in that area. There's that 406 that I just showed you guys. Nice reload at VWAP before eventually the market gave it up at the end of the day, and we came back in, and we did wind up breaking 400 there in the after hours. But it's this kind of an area right into here that traders are looking at between 400 to 402, right into here where we held sort of yesterday after its garbage move down, holding this area. So I'm here for Tesla today between 400 and 402 for a buy zone on TSLA. So yeah, I really like the stock. I think it's going to be a monster long term, and just waiting for it to get a little bit lower before I start adding to the portfolio Tesla. But yeah, so it's on here. All right, MP deal. Here we go. Let's go find out what's the deal with the deal.
Yeah, another one from the government here for MP Materials. If you missed it early on this morning, big pop up to 65. We've given better part of half of that back. Wait a couple minutes here, might be more. New deal with the U.S. Department of War and the Saudis who were in town yesterday.
Yeah, and Goldman today, that's the angle I'll cover, Brendo. They initiated coverage on MP with a price target of $77 and a buy rating. Shares are already up 275% year to date, but the bank argues the move reflects improving fundamentals, not participation in a hype cycle. Goldman's words, not mine. They are the largest rare earth producer in the Western Hemisphere, and they specialize, I'm going to get this right this time, neodymium. okay? Neodymium NdPr oxide, which is a key magnet material for electronics, EVs, defense. China controls about 90 to 95% of the refining capacity, but Goldman says, look, their growing footprint makes it the only credible Western alternative in the supply chain. They also, as you mentioned, Brendo, have a deal with the Department of War, which guarantees them a minimum base price of $110 per kilogram for that NdPr oxide for a period of 10 years. They're also highlighting that they're looking to be vertically integrated. Goldman highlights the mine-to-magnet expansion, which includes refining, magnet manufacturing, and domestic supply chain build-out. And they're saying, look, that vertical integration is going to help margins, revenue visibility, and EBITDA. And they also have a tie-up with Apple, Brendo, so not a bad look.
Still another one that's well off the highs. Just check, better part of 40% here, guys, on a drawdown here for MP Materials.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry too much about those highs on the daily that you're mentioning. As we were saying, when this was kind of already breaking out when we started the show, no chase up here. Look, if it was going to hold and then break 66, that would be one thing. But the dip right back into prior highs is now a little bit more realistic. So it's just simple. Like if we can hold on to the 60 level off the open, you kind of get into underneath 61 and into that 60 and look for just a mean reversion at this point because you've already broken it out. That's a way to play it. This is already 20% from the lows. Like, obviously it fell like really, really hard, but it's already 20% from the lows. So I'd love to see it close above 60 and set something up for, holding the 50-period moving average in a longer sense, because this is the stock that I actually want to add to in the long term. Really only in 10% now, because really didn't know where the bottom was going to be. If we get to the 200 period again, I'd probably buy again, but we're not seeing that today. So I'm waiting for 60 to get tested this morning. If it hold that in the 15, then we're going for the long on MP. Really the only one in the group that I'm looking at, but you are going to find some sympathy plays for sure in the space. Just quickly, nothing early on the locator here, just Snapchat for a small sell. 600,000 plug, buy of 370,000, of course, plug down in the morning, obviously. Yeah, it's really nothing too crazy. Nokia is actually down as well this morning, about 7% last I checked. Small sell imbalance there. BBI, small sell imbalance. Very light on the locator.
Yeah, BBI breaks down below $6 again. So I have silver. So I actually have the order in for IBIT breaking 51.50. We only have 3 minutes to go. And then I have silver today as well. So I wanted to see, this is coming in as well. I put this at 46 to 46.50. Just saw this gap up a little bit here and was thinking the market was potentially going to hold today, but I don't know. So we're going to have to wait. 46 to 46.50 or so here for SLV is a play that I like. And then, of course, we've already talked about crypto, but just to let you know, some of the orders that I have in right now would be a break right now of 51.50. It looks like that'll be incoming potentially here early. And like I said, if it does break lower, we can always use VWAP or even 52 or something as an out. We're not price specific on this. Because again, it's just following whatever Bitcoin does, and here it comes back in. Looks like it wants to break 91,000 right now again. Tesla bidding at 400 there, and then Micron. I don't know about Micron anymore if they have news today, but we'll look to see if we can short this if it gets back above 230 into this area. Is a note that I have on there. Maybe instead of shorting, like I said, if price is not going to be that much of a difference here on IBIT, we don't have any key levels. Mara also has been absolutely crushed in this move on the way down as well, but maybe this could be finding some support like 10, 11, but you're still at 12 right now. So I don't think Mara plays today. You have Riot Blockchain, and then what about HUD 8, right? We had Eric Jackson, of course, of Open Door fame, come talk about how HUD 8 was like transforming this space. So we called it like also an energy play or something like that for crypto, but like, I don't know, that was up here at 50 when he recommended that stock, or what we heard about it anyways, that this was a name that he was interested in. And since then, it's come way back in. So maybe HUD 8 has some bid under it at some point if EWJ Management, or whatever it is also bidding there.
Is that his company?
So, Eric something Jackson, yeah, it's EMJ or EWJ Capital or something like that. And then that brings me over to, yeah, exactly. That brings us up to, well, that's why, we're here to hopefully get things right, so that is what it is. But open door as well, down to $7 could be a look if that hits. We've seen $7, roughly $7 kind of hold for that. So that could also be a play that we are looking at. So yeah, so far so good, man. We're excited for this open. I mean, it's nice to see the Nasdaq up today, but it's not going to be up once we open. This will come in. Like, it's pretty aggressive right now. So yeah, not a good day to be sitting on bids, I don't think. The only order I do have is to go short on IBIT. And until then, we'll just wait to see if these levels fill.
Yeah, with only about less than a minute to go, I didn't see anything specific for Alphabet on the imbalance locator, but it did just drop $2, 88 to 86 here. It found afternoon support at 283. So that's 283.5. So that's a spot to watch for Alphabet. Bitcoin is already testing that 91. Nvidia, that must have just, okay, Nvidia spiking. On earnings day, Nvidia trying to take out 185. Right before the open, that's that buyout, so it's a nothing burger, and still nothing on the locator, despite those moves. So Google moving down going into the open, Nvidia moving to the upside, eyes on MP, circle, Bitcoin breaks down, I like that circle. As we are ringing the bell on the Super Bowl of earnings day, but a lot to get to before we get to Nvidia earnings, let's ring it right about now.
There we go.
And Palo Alto.
Yeah, welcome everybody to the opening bell. Opening bell brought to you by Origenics. I think I kind of missed it right there, so thank you, Origenics. Go check them out, OGen on the NYSE. Okay, so IBIT not doing anything right off the open. If anything, maybe going upside, but not doing much here. We saw yesterday, you know, some of these names epically fall off the open. So right now we do have Palantir from a 169 down to 167. We're trying to look at 166 to see if that maybe holds. But again, we're not trying to get in immediately on all these plays. Tesla also today, you know, could be a good one, that down there near that 400 marker. Right now just dropping 2 VWAP and now getting back to the upside here. So patience pays all the time, and we're going to see if we can have a patient play here again today and just wait for some of these levels. Tesla down to 400 gets me excited.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay, I can keep.
Oh, I know. I just had I had some stuck orders for a quick little sec. I think I'm fine now.
Good.
Oh, that's dirty. All right, it is what it is. I just had a couple of stuck orders there. The breakdown happened in circle. I threw my stop in, and it triggered. And then I tried to jump back into the trade the second I saw it wick down, but my order didn't go out. So maybe just a little bit of slowness. Circle is breaking down in a big way here. I'll try to rejoin this one. Oh, that's kind of frustrating because it's absolutely tanking now. Nvidia is tanking, market is heading right back in, Circle is absolutely bleeding. Remember, all-time lows for Circle are going to be in the 60s. You're talking 64, I believe, was the open price on that IPO day. So it's actually had a lot of room in this bit of a range. MP just came down heavily. Where's SMCI at? Can't dwell on that and just move on to the next.
Market just went red.
Yeah, I mean, SMCI, already, yeah, that's also tanked. So waiting for VWAP, I suppose. When it breaks down, I'm shorting back into the volume weighted average price on this one, looking for the short, That is annoying.
So here's, you know, good companies continue to make good moves. There goes Google, man. Huge move to the high side right now. Google up 2.5% and completely going opposite of everything right now as it's taken off. So good on you there looking at Google, man. And there it goes for day trader LA. 292, you said. So get that 500 ready to go. 295, okay, well, you're coming into it right now anyways. So there it goes. Palantir also trying to battle off. That level that we wrote down was 166. So maybe there is something there right now, but I'm not sure this market does actually want to bounce. But I'm going to take a spot here. Hey, Rob, how's it going? I'm going to take a little bit of a bid here in Palantir just to see. But here it comes. See, like we don't want to get involved too early on this, but of course we are. So watch out for this 166 coming in right now on PLTR. All right, so early take here. We do have that bottom wick down to 166. If it breaks it, then we can think about getting out. Yesterday's levels maybe potentially not going to hold. We got to go all the way down here. Oh, that's actually only 165.6. Okay, so we can hold it to 165.50. I think that's probably why I wrote down 166. But here we go. It's a nice move higher now for Palantir, 50 cents in the money.
Yes, sir. And Alphabet looks like it's already gone, breaking out. Whether it gets to 95 or not, we're not going to see that 83 for the dip buy. So we're going to pull it in to the prior high on the first available dip. Again, yesterday it went absolutely ham to the downside before breaking out, and today it only decides to go up. I'm going to sit in front of VWAP, make sure we pick that one up. MP is getting absolutely, well, not smoked, but it is heading back down into that 60 level, so that's the test. If it can't close holding 60 bucks, then I don't want to be in this thing. Don't want to catch too much of a falling knife. I'll buy a dip on a strong stock, but not something else that's fading the way that this is. I just saw someone mention CoreWeave. Probably a good sympathy play here for Nvidia, which is trying to get back to set upside. But as Nvidia climbs a little bit, just a bit, like it's trying to get back to upside, I'm watching closely for SMCI. Relative weakness on it right now, but with the market screaming in, great. Like it's low underneath the lows, which is good, but I do not want to catch this one on one of those crazy V-shape recoveries. Yeah, Circle just going to have to be patient with it. It looks like it's going to try to get back to that 75 level. Might be able to get back into that one to the south side.
All right, we're just sitting in the trade that we had from last time I spoke to you guys. Okay, let's go have a quick look at MP, see what that's doing. You can see Bitcoin's going up to 91.5 right now, so no trade there for me yet. Nice battle back in the Nasdaq a little bit, but then the stops right at VWAP and then gets faded. So maybe we should be looking at the TQs or something like that. But there's MP Metals downside, right? So not good there. The trade that I was looking at was going to be silver. That popped, so we got the right direction, but we're not in it. And then we wanted to fade out Micron as well today. That's right here at VWAP. I wrote down 232, so it looks like we could be getting back up there. Here we go. Maybe we have a nice little, your first dollar club, it looks like right now on Palantir, as it's starting to go up to the high side right now. Go Palantir. We are at 167.90s right now, 96 actually, to see if we can get a 168 print here on Palantir. But he's heating up right now. There it is. Yeah, you're welcome, Christopher Ocean. There it is, man. There it is, your official first winner of the day over here for me on Palantir. We're just going to go one for one. And again, a completely different style, man. I'm looking for the best trades. I'm trying to take numbers that I've written down on here. And Palantir, so far, so good. So a nice little move higher there on PLTR. But it wasn't like a huge position because it didn't come in exactly into our 166. We're trying to be a little patient. But we'll take that right now and get in another piece right here at Y. So I'll do that at 70s. So we take out two pieces. We have now 70% left as, oh boy, there it goes, man. The longs are strong and still going higher right now. So, hey, if you bought the dip yesterday, congratulations. There goes the Nasdaq and there goes PLTR. So we're going to go one for one here and just chill.
And 295 day trader LA. Congratulations, brother.
Yes.
You got your 295 that just ticked in here. Google just broke the highs of the day as we speak. I don't know if there's going to be a heavy dip, but if there's anything resembling it, first available as Google absolutely off to the races. There's a 95 high, so you're completely breaking out. I did tick in, finally, into SMCI, so that comes right back into the volume weighted average price. It just feels a little bit different. I just want to remind everybody, Sean mentioned this already, but Micron, if you're watching, it is literally presenting at some conference right now. So just be careful with that name in particular. I am watching Nvidia at 185 breaking out, so I want to make sure of scalping this into the low, because if we keep breaking out here, even a weak name is eventually going to catch a bit of a bid. So just I'm going to be patient because I didn't put Micron on my list when it was moving around and I realized it was a story. But it is one thing that is worth looking for a trade, Micron. But heading back into the lows is SMCI. We'll see if it's as weak as it usually is as the market tries to test these highs. Now 96 on Google.
All right. I'm going to think about getting something in on Tesla, I think. I mean, it just keeps on bouncing around the areas that I was talking about, 402, which is the very bottom. But I was like between 400 to 402, so take a little bit here at 403 maybe. I was going to go, I'm at 402.70s right now. So if this does drop back in, we will take a little bit of a trade here on Tesla, but it's going to have to give us that bottom. And then honestly, like I don't really want to get that many shares until it does come into some of those levels of 400 again. And even then, I don't know, it's not really doing what the market's doing here. If anything, it's going a little opposite, but there it goes, trying to get upside is Tesla. Palantir, man, it had a good time, but not a long time there as, this name getting faded back into our levels as well right now. So, possible reload area. I'm not going to do it. Like I said, I wanted to get a little bit lower on this. 166.50s, I think, is something that we can do. And then if it breaks below yesterday's low, 165, we found it I mean, that's literally yesterday's low after hours. It's more these areas right here that's already broken. But if you go back to Palantir and you see what we did yesterday during sort of that chaos, what was the morning chaos, that's 165.50. So that's kind of the level for me here that we want to look at for Palantir. We just got into something, Tesla. So Tesla, 402.70 right now, long on Tesla. Nice move back to the upside, but then faded right back in again. So here we go, man. Some of these markets coming back in just as sort of we had thought about a little bit here. We want to get long, good names on weak market, but let's give it a couple minutes, that's all. Like I'm only in like basically 20% of these positions. They're not huge trades yet. Palantir coming in as well, so. Adara, yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk here a little bit about the market, specifically with regards to nuclear, because U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright is speaking right now, kind of in general terms, but he is talking about this nuclear deal, saying that it's about the civil use of nuclear power for the electricity generation. He's also saying that the Constellation plant will be back online by 2027. He's saying that there's actually apparently no enrichment with this in this civil nuclear energy agreement with Saudi Arabia. So again, Saudi-U.S. energy deal being discussed by the U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright. I want to let you guys know as well, no economic data at 10. We're done economic data for the day, but at 10 a.m. we will get comments from Fed's Myron. Back to you.
All right.
Yeah, a couple of Fed speakers.
We just talked about, I mean, look, you guys know we talk about traders got to trade, right? This is now 250 in the money. We just put this Tesla trade on, and we just made 250, just like that. So, yeah, my work is not done here, but hopefully your guys is. Huge trade there for Tesla, great trade for Palantir. But yeah, what are we going to do, man? We can't just, you know, this is just what trading is. So, you know, we'll have losses and we'll also have these monster wins.
Yeah, all that matters is make sure your wins outweigh those losses and you'll be good to go, everybody. Low of the day just held for me. So low of the day held out and we're closing above VWAP. And I look over, and the other thing that was happening is 185, we're closing above, or at least attempting to on Nvidia. So I'll reload this underneath the pre-market low, and until we break out that, then I can stick with SMCI as a bit of a short trade. But ultimately, like the market's in breakout mode, well, attempting to breakout mode, and Alphabet is approaching $300 at this point. So there hasn't even been a red candle where you could try to buy this dip. That said, MP materials, hopefully it can go into the run as well. Here's MP, this is what I'm watching. There's VWAP for you, and it's trying to break trend line. If it breaks and holds above VWAP, then there's my in. Underneath the trend line is my out. So that's going to be the next opportunity for me. MP, of course, big short float is going to be a part of the story, but just because you have a short float doesn't mean you're going to squeeze. You need to close above VWAP, or this is still in its downtrend for sure. Now, watch out for that 300 on Google, everybody. There's already a seller at 298. I imagine 3 is going to be pretty big.
Okay. You know, more outs on Palantir. Palantir is the one that's maybe not going as much as I had hoped for, but whatever. It's still 70 cents in the money there, still $1 and change over on Apple. On Palantir and Tesla. I was going to have a quick look at Apple, which is probably why I just said it there. There goes Apple, right? 270. So, you know, we know if there's anything in this market right now, it's just proving that like there's a lot of cash on the sidelines and a lot of buyers for good names. You know, we said yesterday that, you know, the dip buy play for me, I said the Mag 7, all the names I want to grab, it's going to be Google. And you could see right here, I have no idea why it's actually up 5%. It's not even on our watch list or anything here today, I do not believe, for this. But, you know, Google, huge move.
I think it
there.
is.
We did have the...
It's an old story.
We had the Gemini 3, yeah.
It's an old story.
Gemini 3 is coming through. But we'll have to watch out here. N91.6, so it's the same as yesterday. And Google, yesterday, remember, we were trying to go long on Google and wound up losing. And now you can see what's happening right now. Okay, so as the market goes down or up, look what Tesla's doing right now. That just came right back in. So let's see if we can get a little bit longer at 402 now and just wait to to see if this one wants to make its way back upside here on TSLA. So I don't know. Nice drop in as the market rips. So obviously this is a Google's world right now, not Tesla's. And there it comes right back in. We're going to have to watch out for 400 flat. This is why you take profit when it goes back up to the upside, right? So let's wait to see now what happens with Tesla. We're long again over here, everybody.
Oh, Bitcoin's starting to go here. It looks like Bitcoin's catching a bit of a bid and going to break out the high. So no breakdown on BTC. We're holding 90,000, obviously. If this is the case, we're above 91 and tracking to that 92 breakout. This is pretty much what it did yesterday for the join. So I guess we're not shorting Bitcoin because it's in an upward trend. So I'm going to buy the dip at VWAP. This feels a lot like yesterday. I thought this was going to be bearish, but no break of the low means you can't take it. And still not at 300 bucks on Alphabet, but MP's now holding but not breaking, so still looking for MP to close above 62. Then I'm long, but VWAP, IBIT, not going to take the break of 52.5 because you didn't have to yesterday. You could just buy the dip after it went. So a couple of names I'm hunting for the long side of the trade here. And yeah, the market's looking incredibly strong. It's weird to me because you were saying that, yeah, I don't know why Tesla would be going down. Literally everything on my board is heading to the upside as we speak. If crypto's up, like forget about it. We're having a green day if Bitcoin's going to hold this 91 or 90 area at least. I thought for sure Bitcoin was breaking down.
Yeah, I have that. That's the order that I have in ready to go. So yeah, well, I was sure too, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing that. Yeah, so Tesla's kind of wild. Like we've been, it just ripped up again. Like so, we did get a fill there at 670s, and then it just went and made another move higher. So I'm just gonna wait now. So there we okay. Well, that came in pretty quick. I was gonna say I was gonna wait for 401s. There comes 401s. Watch out for a 400 break, man. I mean, right now on Tesla, like. Just did not expect this, but we didn't expect that either. And then we had to wait until eventually we caught something near some of these lows. So maybe, I mean, they're right into here. We're prepared for this to get to 400. So this is not a panic spot. I mean, we're not just going to punch out a Tesla here because it's going down. We've already made some money on it. Let's be cautious with this. 401.80 right now is where we're long on Tesla. And we'll take a little bit more down there at 400. Then we'll watch out for that 399, right? If that 399 winds up breaking, then we can get away from this name. Absolutely no problem. But 401.80, we're going to be there. We're going to go to 402.20s or so just to get out of something, 10% if we can. If this does bounce up $1, it's really pretty choppy right now is Tesla, but it's choppy to the downside, which isn't great. And the only other trade that I have on right now is, of course, Palantir. So we'll go 2 for 2, but position pending here with Tesla. That's basically all that I'm doing right here. I see you're into IBIT now, and I'm just going to wait to see what winds up happening here with Tesla. But it's a good thing Palantir is going one way, and just need Tesla to join the party.
Yeah, the party right now to the upside. So for me, I'm joining IBIT. Is we mentioned Alphabet at 300. Careful there. They just tried a little bit of a sell at the 300 level. And when I say a little bit, kind of rinse the top here and trying to head back on through. So this is actually the first available dip potentially in Alphabet all morning long. Forget about VWAP. I think that's a little bit too far away. Go to the prior high. I think it was 95 or this is not loading. 95 is about that level. If you have a 15-minute chart up, which this is a 3, it's about 95 to 96, if not the volume weighted average price is where I would be looking. MP still doesn't want to get off the schneid. It's putting in higher lows. It just doesn't want to close above 62. So, not going to punch into it just yet. Unlike IBIT, which showed me those buyers above VWAP in that uptrend, so I can buy into the trend and just give it to the prior bar underneath VWAP. Like that's in an upward trend. I want MP to join, but it doesn't want to go. So not much you can do about it if it doesn't want to go. You can't really fight it too far. SMCI, this is where I make a decision on the reload. Coming into VWAP for the first time, just a little bit higher. The market is tracking towards yesterday's tops a little bit, but we're still about a couple of 100 points away. When we get to 24.8 on the Nasdaq, that's the spot where I'd look to get back into a short. Let the futures travel back into that high. So far, it's the only short that I see that was on my list that's any good.
All right. We always hit the dollar club, so I won't hit it again, but it's $1 right now for Tesla. We just averaged into the trade, and it came right into our levels. So we'll put out a little small piece here at 402.76. There it is, we get it, and now we just kind of hold on to this trade and wait to see where it goes from here. There goes 403 right now. There's our one daily goal met there on Tesla, but we'll hold and see if it can have itself quite the day, with Palantir also going to the upside. But if you are a Canadian investor, and a sophisticated one at that, make sure you do check Global X out and their Beta Pro. It's 3 times daily levered ETF. Scan that QR code. Right now they are having a fee holiday until December 31st, just 65 basis points. You could trade 3X S&P TSX 60 utilities, many names there, treasuries over at Global X with their Beta Pro product. So make sure you double check that, and we want to thank them for their sponsorship of the segment. But oh man, Tesla just continues to make the move higher right there. Hopefully we could do this again. We just took another piece out right there. It's now $2 now in the money on this play. Palantir's $1. This is $2, and we're just doing what we do here, trading. And it's been a good morning, and we just take the 2 trades that we had written down on our sticky note. We wrote down between 400 to 402 for Tesla, Neil. The bottom is 400, and there's 402. So those are the levels that we have, and boom goes the dynamite on Tesla. Palantir, same thing, man, 166. That's what we wrote down. That's what we have. That's going to the upside right here as well. Almost 2 times our goal. Let's get a little bit out right now. Well, we are at 2 times, but let's get a little bit more out here at 404. $2.50 in the money on Tesla right now. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to wait to see if it gets even higher than where we are right now. There it is, 404.20. Here we go now, $3 now, and ripping is Tesla.
Absolutely ripping, and shout out to everyone in the chat. Google did get through at that 300 level, so go day trader LA. Hope it's really going to work out for you for sure. No idea if you're in or out, or if you've banked your profit, no clue. Finally got into MP, but that was the only red candle in Google, and it barely went anywhere. So the buyers are very much in control here on Alphabet. No questions asked. I absolutely canceled SMCI after that move into the upside, but check it out. It's still looking incredibly weak. So it's the only stock out there. If it's downward trending, then I want to play it to the south side. But as I said, we finally got ourselves into MP Materials, which is going to put a close at least above the volume weighted average price for the first time. So give it to the prior bar. You've broken the trend. Now I want to play for the upside. To me, if you're giving it 50 pennies or so, then I got to make sure it's traveling 50 pennies or so before we take any profit. So want this to get through $63 in particular. Market strong. Pretty much everything is going at this point. Join some IBIT as well. Let me just get another bid in here on MP in front of the volume weighted average price so we can get that 63 if it gets up there. So stick to your plan of action. That's what it's all about. You heard Sean say it. I pretty much do the same thing. Consistency is how you get it every single day, day in, day out. And Ron Williams, I just noticed that as well. As I was looking over my quote board, this is a time of day, like, you're looking at the stocks that you're intending on trading or this part of your trading plan. But when I went over to my quote board to see what was up or down, Amazon down. Maybe this has something to do with retail. Not really sure specifically what's going on with Amazon, but a reminder that this has held out, not 200 period, but 211, like 211, 212. Right in here. It has been a pretty good level there since earnings. So Amazon screaming to the downside. Could this be Target related? I don't know, but Target's actually bouncing off that key level. So maybe it has nothing to do with Target whatsoever. So there goes MP. I didn't get the reload. That doesn't change anything. I go to the 1-to-1 very quickly right there. Like if you're able to capture a quick point, I'm going to take it. We'll reload on the bid when we're able to. Just quick as that. And IBIT, more of a trend trade. I'm not offering this until it breaks the high of the day. That's just the way it is. Long in here, it breaks the higher of the day, and then I'm getting out. Like this is binary. This is not meant to be some scalp trade. This is long in here at about 52 even, stopping under VWAP. So if it breaks the high, I'm looking to get out in the quarters, right? Like that'll be at that 1-to-1, looking for the outstretched move. So this is a pretty binary play. It's the way I felt about it yesterday at about this level in here. Like get that long, but you're not covering until it gets up into those tops, and then you cover some more up there. Like, that's the plan of action for me. Let it travel to the next level for sure. So not really sure what's happening in Amazon. We'll keep our ear to the ground on that one, as it happens to be bleeding into a strong market. That makes me want to check Meta, to be honest with you. Yeah, so it looks like Amazon, Meta, both to the downside and at the lows. As the market is screaming higher, both these names are absolutely struggling there, for sure. I don't know what's going on with those two, but I think it probably is just more of the same. Like, you've got your strong Mag 7, you've got your weak Mag 7, and Meta and Amazon happen to be in the weak side for now.
This is why trading is like, you have to be focused on what you're doing, right? Like, when Tesla was coming down, we stayed very, very patient with it. It's now $4 in the money here. So it's just being very, very specific with what you're doing. And I mean, I guess, we have Nvidia earnings tonight, but if you look over here, this is what we wrote down today, man. Tesla, I mean, just check it out. I'll put this sticky note here in the chat, and you guys can go have a quick little look. As Tesla right now, Neil, $5 in the money. Again, just unbelievable move. There's Tesla, there's Palantir, right? So right now we're sitting at about 6 in the money on these two trades. And there it goes. We've got to get a little bit more out here because we've just been sitting on our hands right now. We are now at 3 times our daily goal right now, and it's been good. Like, we finally have, the patience underneath us here, and we've really adapted the trading style to the market, right? And so, again, just thank you everybody for watching, checking out the sticky note, and really supporting what we do here. You can see Neil and I, as we always say, completely different styles, and Pikachu, I choose you, and Adara, I choose you for news. So what do you got over there?
I'm seeing some people on X attribute this specific piece of news I'm about to give you for this Amazon drop. So this was actually in our watch list this morning. The EU court upholding the EU Commission's decision to label Amazon a, quote, very large online platform under the Digital Service Act. Now, what this means is that Amazon has to follow stricter rules under said act with regards to illegal and harmful content. So people on social media are attributing that news to this drop off the open, though it did come out, as I mentioned earlier in the day. Back to you.
Okay, I usually shrug those ones off, to be honest with you guys. I don't think, look, it could be the explanation, maybe just an excuse for more of the downtrend on Amazon, but I'm never really concerned about the EU in a long-term sense, right? Like, they do their fines, they do their cash grabs, and they move on from there. So second time in at VWAP, it's effectively the same plan. 8 out of 10 days, this has worked out in this range, where you just short VWAP off the open if it's relatively weak, which it is right now. It gets to the low of the day and you get a little bit of a bounce. So the second time, again, it's pretty much the same trade. Just capture the point and let it try to come back in here for sure. Google's still doing exactly what it was before. MP still trending higher. Did not get my second dip in MP. We're able to get in the second time off VWAP short on SMCI, but we weren't able to get VWAP again here on MP Materials, as that hunts for 65 and those highs. Nvidia is strong. What else, though, and keep in mind, I saw some people typing in UNH in the chat. Look, recently, when we've had strength in tech, it always goes to Blue Ocean first. When we've had strength in tech or weakness in tech, you've had some of the healthcare names be strong. And UNH, the other side of the coin, is starting to play in here. I want to check out some AbbVie at some point later today, because if that falls, I want to buy some more. But watch out for UNH. It's very close to that 300. I'm personally not taking this as a swing trade off 300 again because of this. It rejected the 200 period moving average. That is a no-fly zone for me to try to get back into that trade. Let it do whatever it does. Happy to get the move that it made, but if there's any kind of a bounce in tech, and this is looking as weak as it is, let it make a fresh low and then move on to the next. We've seen healthcare do this before relative to tech. I think you just want to wait it out.
Nvidia shares up more than 3% right now. Just tweeting this out because, like, I just think it's, like this buy zone area right here between 400 and 402, as we had posted here at 8 o'clock. Big buy area, or big support area down there, and so there it goes again, and that is Tesla. I think we might as well, at this point, man, just we have a little bit less than half, but you got to take something out. Like, this is now, Neil, it's now $6-7 now as we continue to go higher here to the upside. But what a day. All right, yeah, nice to see Google. Let's have a quick little look here at the rest of the markets. There's Nvidia up 3%. Great day for them, man. We talked about Google. Wow, their Gemini 3 story really hitting the market today. And by the way, we're also up $1.50 now on Palantir. So far, so good. I'll ask Neil how his trading's been going in a couple seconds here, but here's Broadcom, their Netflix 3%, Walmart, Costco, Amazon, Home Depot, all getting hit today. Amazon continues, I mean, talk about a good company that's been getting hit, right? I mean, we've indicated Google as a possibility as well. And that's took off. So there's Amazon there, TJX, Home Depot, there, Lowe's with a good report. I don't see Target on here. There it is, down 1% only. So they're battling back a little bit. They were down 2% at one point there as well. Nice to see the banks back. You know, yesterday we indicated JP Morgan versus SoFi. You know, I don't know what SoFi is doing, but it's nice to see Robinhood up 3% today there. Banks doing well. I mean, Berkshire not doing well, which is funny because they're into Google. So
rotation, I guess.
yeah, just with Google being up 6%, and we know that they have 5 billion shares or something like that. Okay, so there it is, man. Big monster day. We only have 2 trades on, man, and it's going to be Tesla long at 400 and Palantir right here long at 167. So just 2 trades for me here today, and that's about it. So you guys, you know, let us know whatever you're doing here in the chat if there's anything you guys want to talk about. But it's just a continue. Okay, now I got to get out another. I'm just going to get out 10% every time. We'll get it out at 408 now. So here we go. Yesterday, Neil, $12 winner on this. Now we have Tesla again. It's $7. I really like this stock. It's been trading really well. We nailed some good spots there for Tesla. So it's Tesla and Palantir so far there here today as it just continues to go up. Right now about $9 in, but look at the market. The market is an
25.
absolute monster right now. So which puts me over to just you're into IBIT. And
well, I don't think I'm reloading SMCI again. I'm gonna stick to what has been the plan of action to only go into it when the futures are getting to a resistance spot and let it travel, right? We've just broken out the overnight highs, which is where I put the short on before. So let it get to 25. Like that's the next big level. Or if it curls here, fine. But just trying to stick to the plan. And again, here's the thing: like it actually just dropped off VWAP, so it probably would have worked out if I just shorted the same price. But you know what? Just try to stick to what's going to be consistent. So Circle is going to be what it is. That's, for myself, going to be a keystroke error. And, you know, MP long has worked. SMCI short has worked. And IBIT's in the money. But I haven't taken anything out of IBIT, like I said. You know, like IBIT, this is the consolidation level. And it still hasn't broken the high. When it breaks the high, I take my first out. Then I play into the gap on IBIT. So it's still, that one's still going to be binary. But so far, so good. Willing to be patient with it. I think, you know, you got to, it's one thing to say patient. It's another thing sometimes to be patient.
Yes, for sure.
And some people are saying Amazon from here. Yeah. Again, like that EU story, I'm never thinking it's a huge deal when the EU regulators are on you, because they always are. It's old news. Let's go to Adair.
Let's start here with this market today because, of course, this is a massive push up here. A little bit of a rounded top action here pre-market, and then we open with not one but 2 very strong 15-minute green bars. I do want to mention no economic data, as I said earlier, at 10 a.m., but we're already getting comments right now from Fed's Myron right now talking more about bank regulations than he is monetary policy. But if that changes, I will let you know. But we have to talk about NVIDIA because NVDA is reporting after the bell. You can find this earnings preview on X at TTV Research with a whole bunch of info from last quarter and what we're expecting for this quarter. Regardless, though, NVDA earnings 4:20 p.m. today is that expected time. They usually report right then. And Neil and myself will be covering that on the market recap. We also have some other Mag 7 news to talk about because Alphabet has had a fantastic day. It broke above $300 for the first time in its history, and now after announcing its Gemini 3 model yesterday. So that launch still very well received by the market. Let's take a look at TSLA. Last but not least, Sean has been trading this name today, and Tesla actually receiving a permit here in Arizona to operate as a transportation network. This is, of course, with regards to its robo-taxi product. And before we send you back for more trading action with Neil and Sean, I do want to take a moment to thank our friends at Orogenics. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Orogenics, or OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. Back to the guys.
Thank you, as always, Adara. And Jameson, we'll look at Bob in a second, but I think, okay, validation, you do not want to be in the short anymore. Not flipping into the long on SMCI, but again, look distinctly different. We're not at 25. Sometimes it can be working, but it doesn't mean it's going to work forever. You know, I like to say you get away with one if the market's going up and you're going against the trend. This is working on trend. But I look over at the other usual suspect, like what's the other not so very good chip name that usually is a short? And it's Intel, and it's absolutely flying. If this sees 36, I know this level from a couple of days ago, that's the spot. So the second this shows a top on the 15 at 36, that's what I'm gonna be looking for. So right now, not as focused on SMCI. IBIT's starting to make its move into the channel, so I got one out. As it goes into this top end channel, waited till it was actually breaking out through the high. Looking for, it'll be like 92.5 on Bitcoin. We're at 91.8, 92.5. That'll be into about 50 like 60s to 70s in here for final target. So that's the level I'm looking for on Bitcoin in particular. It's now just gone like that first 20 cents, but I'm looking for the gap fill about 3x that. For now, Bitcoin looking strong. I actually thought it was gonna go the other way on Bitcoin, but you know, doesn't really matter. The market wants to be strong. Bitcoin wasn't looking all that strong this morning, and now all of a sudden it is. Still waiting to see what the next move is going to be for Alphabet here, though. There hasn't been a constructive dip buy on Google. 15 minutes all upside. So yeah, I guess you had to be in this one on the breakout, everybody. Congrats again. But if you are waiting for this to pull back, I think it's a little too far gone at this point. Might have to wait for like a couple of bars on the way back in. Like this, if it does one red bar, I'm not even sure that's going to be enough for a dip buy. Just kind of like let the longs ride that you got, and be patient if you're trying to go against the grain short. But my rule is from now on, if I'm going against the grain, at least wait for the setup on the higher time frame. That's what's led to profitability this month. Everything else, like the early entries on like 1 and 3 minutes, no moss. Not in this market. It's too volatile.
Yeah, amazing trade there on IBIT. So good luck.
We'll see. I'm still holding 3/4 of it, so.
Yeah, so far so good, man. Hey, man.
We'll see. Trade's a trade.
Just giving you some respect for the call there. Amen, Neil. Yeah, Tesla right here, $9. We're getting out of this, man. We don't have. We only have about. I was going to say 10% left. It's something like that. Actually, it's more than that. What am I talking about? Because I'm doubling. It's about 20% left on this trade, actually, because the shares it shows are back and forth. What's up, Arum? Tesla money. Yeah, man. I mean, that's what it is today. Yeah, man. Today, thank you for that. That's really funny. I like that. Awesome. Bang on that one. But today we eat lobster, man. This is not a tilapia trade. This is much bigger than that, man. And then we also got, I mean, we're bigging it up on Tesla, but honestly, this Palantir trade is $2.50 in the money. I mean, Tesla's $10, but you know, this is just as nice because it's only $160 stock. Came right into our level, and we waited a little bit on this. It was only $9.32, so I did want more shares, and unfortunately, we wrote down 166 on Palantir on here. And for those of you that are just joining right now, thank you so much. And how many of you are subbed in right now? Let me just have a quick look. I'm going to say 21.4%. But if you are looking for some, areas to say, hey, I'm looking for some trade ideas. Neil has his note out. You can go check that out if you want. Palantir, ooh, it's 21.5. There it is. So less people subscribe now. That's not good. But there it is. Palantir 166 long, and there's your Tesla 402 long, 400 to 402 long. So those have really, remember, 166. So now you get over that $2. And when it came in, like there's 166.30. I'm actually at 166. Like I still have a bit in there at 166.25. So we just missed that by about, honestly, 8 cents, which sucks because it's upside, but that's all right. And our out was going to be 165.50, and that was right here yesterday on Palantir. So it was right there, 165.50. So that was going to be an area of concern for me if it dripped down into there, but it does not do that. And right now, guys, we're at It's about 3.5 to 4 times like sort of the goal that we set for ourselves. But as we said, maybe there's more to this market, up 1.3%. I'm like really surprised at Tesla here. I'm going to take out one more piece right now at 53. So there it is. We'll offer that out. Fabi, everything's all right? All right, we'll offer that out, and we'll just move on to what you guys want us to trade now, because the damage is, for me, is this P&L wise, this will be my biggest day of the month, but this Tesla trade sort of matches yesterday. I think we made a little bit more money yesterday. The problem is we lost on Google early yesterday. And that's just so crazy because yesterday we were long at 284, something like that on Google, and lost. So congratulations, man. 302 and change. The portfolio's humming. I don't even want to look at the account. Oh, and there's Target.
Today is the day to look.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, probably. Especially if you've been looking the last couple of days. You want to look today, feel better. But there it is, man. Target all the way back, only down almost nothing now, down 0.5%, so that's real good there. TMC, the metals company there, up 7%. We could definitely have a look there as some of the metal names have been going back and forth. You had some MP there as well. MP up 10%, 64.50 today. Costco down to 878. Wow, there's something broken there with Costco. Put that up then, Andre. I'm loading this Costco dip. Yeah, I think they're poised for a strong holiday. Yeah, I mean, I think the holiday market's going to be strong just overall right now. The problem with Costco is, and there's a lot of traders, they didn't have the greatest quarter last quarter, and there's a lot of talk about their current PE, right?
It's
and
like
their
40 something.
Yeah, and their valuation. So it's still in the 40s, right? That's a little, here we go, it's a little high for the historical. I wish there was a historical thing on here on Benzinga for their PE. But here we go, like look at Walmart, 33, Target. Like, you guys want to know why I'm in Target? How does a 10 PE sound? Right there, Walmart 33, Dollar Tree.
It might be under that now.
Yeah, probably under, well, nah. Well, it's flat on the day, right? So about that right now, actually might be better than that right now, yeah, because they did report decent numbers. It's just, the stock is not performing that well, which is why I say we need to get some sort of activism in there. So, all right, Palantir still upside there. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think Costco down at those levels. We haven't even looked at the chart, so maybe we'll do that. Thank you so much for the super chat there. Good thing we're out. We got more out there of Tesla. Tesla's coming back a little bit on this move. But yeah, there's Costco down 2%. Like, that is a strange move for me on Costco, but it's only kind of really to right where we were almost like pre this year. I mean, we did have a huge move up there into February, like no idea what's going on there, but this takes you all the way back, yeah, to July of 24. So you are way back here on Costco. This is probably a real good level to look at Costco there. So I think that's fine. I don't know about loading it up, but
if I didn't own Walmart, I'd be waiting for Costco if Costco dropped another 10 points, I would be all over it. But to me, like, I don't know if I would want a dollar cost average into both those names. And I'm dollar cost averaging into Walmart. It just has not been dropping into any of my levels. Rattle, thank you. How do you pull up your levels, high time frame? For me, it's a 15-minute or a daily chart. If I'm swing trading, it's which I don't do a lot of, but it's always weeklies, monthlies, for swing trades. Like when we were talking about Lululemon the other day, that was on like a monthly chart. But for day trading, I'll show you a 3-minute chart, but most of the time, if I'm looking at levels, like what I need to see happen, it's based on a 15-minute chart. Like here, I'm just going to use the example of the stock I'm in because it's just easier that way. Like you're breaking out there. Like once I saw that 15-minute, I want us breaking out. So breaking out, the long needs to be in there. It wasn't precise. I got myself the right price, oddly enough, but it wasn't necessarily a precise entry. And I'm looking for this gap fill on the 15-minute chart. So that's what I look at. I know some people like 30-minute charts or 60-minute charts. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever works for you. You know, if you like a 5-second chart, do you. I actually think 5-second charts, I used to kind of scoff at it, and then I started pulling them up when we traded an IPO. And to be honest, like there was the one really bad one, and it saved my butt on, was it Figma? I think it was Figma. Like I was staring at a 5-second chart to figure my outs, and if it wasn't for what I was seeing on the 5-second chart, I wouldn't have gotten out of so much before it flushed. But thank you, Corey. Another one. What is the bottom of Netflix as profit takers continue to cash out, waiting for a spot to go long? Isn't it strong? It was strong yesterday.
Yeah, Netflix is huge.
Netflix was up huge. Not so much today. So Netflix, this is not going to be split adjusted. All right, so I have to go to my E-signal chart for you on Netflix, obviously. We can go to a daily chart there. Real trading, ours don't split adjust, right? Which is, it's not that big of a deal, but I guess the only bottom to look at is the one that we can all find, which would be that 107. But I usually, if I don't see anything that's not obvious, again, go to the higher time frame. Yeah, like on a monthly chart, it's probably more in the 95 to 100 range, because like on a monthly, you're consolidating lower on a monthly chart, and the prior support would be either above this 100 or in here. But yeah, this could drop further. When I look at this on the monthly, like this could easily drop further. Probably closer to like the $95 to $100 range on Netflix. That's why I zoom out sometimes, because it can look good on a daily, but if you're trying to be patient DCAing, then I always believe err on the side of, if you're DCAing, err on the side of caution, because you're kind of like indiscriminately buying as the stock is going down. So I'd rather wait for the next level if I had to. But then sometimes you're wrong. Like look at MP. I only bought it once, right? And now it's going up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I actually, let's, so right now, back to the highs of the day here is Tesla. Like, I don't even know, like, good thing we didn't get anything out on this dip down there, but like, it is just rip city right now on Tesla. I'm just gonna hold this trade. And why not? Let's just let this continue to work. I mean, you know what? If we're going to try to do a little bit more work on this, I mean, the thing that's making me nervous about Tesla here is the fact that the market is just so huge now, and I'm worried that the market pulls back a little bit, and that may potentially, you know, squash the Tesla trade. Not squash it, but, you know, give it some pull back in. So we are down to now about, I was going to say 190, 90, yeah, still about that 20% or so left. 15% or so left on Tesla. So something to look at here, I think, you know, would be what we're going to do on a high side just to get something out. So these wicks were 413 to 412 and change. So I think there might be something in that area that we could look at here for Tesla as a potential area to maybe get out. And then, you know, after that, like 416, 417. So I'm just going to put an offer right now at 412.50 or so. And then that will be my net, 412.50 exactly, whatever, to get out of, again, another about 10% of what we have left right now. So, all right, this is coming soon. We have a video promo. What exactly are we going to play here?
Today it comes out, perfect. Everybody. So we teed it up a little bit yesterday, but releasing today is a new video where you get to see a little bit about how all of us, I'm just talking about us hosts here, our journey started, I guess the difficulties, the challenges, the growth spurts, everything that happens in a trader's journey, or at least as much as we can pack into a video. We all sat down actually pretty comfortably in a very casual style and answered a bunch of questions that I hope are informative to everybody, and that's the idea. So this is something that we did, you know, a few months ago, and we're happy to bring this one out here. And of course, stay tuned for more. We've been talking about the Trader TV Academy. This is part and parcel about that because it's about education first. And you have to start from somewhere. So we talk about the beginnings of our education, all of us here, myself, Sean, Sharif, Brennan as well. So stay tuned. Always make sure you hit the like and subscribe because you want to get notifications. There's going to be more coming from the Academy as well. It's not just going to be this video. Hope you guys enjoy it for sure. And I've had a sneak peek of it. I was watching it the other day. You know, sometimes you don't like hearing yourself speak, but it was cool listening to the story.
All the time.
Well, I know, again, I knew Sean. I've known Sean for a while, so I knew when you started out, but I was listening to Sharif, which was pretty cool because, you know, sometimes you can learn some things. Hey, we don't really always talk about it because we were on the show when Sharif started. And, you know, we had a different manager that was, you know, the risk manager at the time, so didn't really know as much about the journey as we can all now find out.
Yeah, it should be a fun one there. You know, pay attention for that. We'll let you guys know when that is dropping. But what's not dropping is this market right now. So just more and more upside. We're now in the $10 club. We may need a new logo, man. I mean, a new little gift there. This is back-to-back days where we've had $10 winners. And we're just waiting at 412.50, we said. So I know it's hard to sit I mean, I don't know how many of you have experience with like these kind of trades, but it's sometimes hard to see when you see the sort of the net just start to like, you know, really do stuff like that, because you want to get out. Like this is potentially the top again there, but who knows? Palantir as well. I been getting out. That was 169.50. Now that I see that might be a wick high, let's put something out in the 30s there for PLTR. It's so funny. I started today with just like a massive headache and still have one, but we're not going to let that affect anything trading wise here. That's for sure. So I'm just going to offer right now. I'm going to offer right here at 410.60. You know, I was going to wait. We did get as high as 411.50 there. We were waiting for 412.50, but you could see a little bit of a pullback now in Tesla. Is it reloading the long? Who knows? But decent pullback now of $2. So we were just up there at 411.50, and we were at 412.50. And yeah, the pullback here seems to be pretty real in some of these names. So as far as, I mean, I could talk IBIT, but I know Neil's on it, so I was going to just wait to see what that winds up happening right now. Uber just crossing some kind of scanner here. Let me see what's going on with Uber. $91. Yuck, that's not great for Uber. Downside, yeah, there it is right there, hitting the 200 period moving average is Uber. And not, honestly, man, not looking good here on Uber. I don't really know why. We've talked about the robo-taxi and Waymo, and it's getting pretty competitive out there, but those are kind of just, I don't want to say they're pipe dreams, because they're not. They're coming through. But we don't really know how that's going to affect Uber or anything yet, so I do want to kind of hold out that Uber can win in all of this. People will be uncomfortable, I think, taking non-driver aided at first, yeah. So we're gonna have to wait to see what winds up happening with that adoption and with Uber. So that's getting close to the 200 period moving average as well. So that could be, you know, something to dip buy in. And then someone in the chat there mentioned Target. And yeah, that's almost green. Oh, I think we must have gone green right there at 8. Yeah, close enough. Well, yeah, no, actually we did, because there's yesterday's close, 88.70 or so. So we're pretty close to finally getting back to Greensville here on TGT. And then I heard Walmart was buying some little small startup company there. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Like what TGT would be down. This is the funny thing, like OpenAI, Walmart makes this deal apparently with OpenAI, and there it is, man. Whoa, Tesla almost came all the way, I'm at 410.60. We almost got filled there, 410.60. It's battling back Tesla, so you guys know I'm sitting there if it does fill. But yeah, Walmart's getting crushed lately, man, and a 33 PE, not bad, probably high historically for them. This is that OpenAI news, thanks for the news, but didn't mean that much because it fell right back in. It gave you the bump on that day, and then it was whap down again. So Walmart actually, wow, they are at a teetering point as well here, breaking back below that $100 marker. But this is, and again, that's going to be wrong because of the split, but it's, you know, this goes all the way back to April, the last time we were at that 200 period moving average. So Walmart not doing well. Walmart actually about to turn red for the year.
Yep. Okay.
So this is what I was going to say. Like, we sit here and shit on Ford, but Ford is up 30% this year. You could have done a lot worse, including stocks like Walmart or anything this year. Ford's had a rough ride. It's not like it's hasn't appreciated the same way over the last 30 years, like all these names. But I think that there might be something in that name. And if Ford is still up 30% and all these other names are getting hit the way they are, maybe it is time to sell my Ford here and get into something that's a little higher quality. But yeah, Ford nicely cooking, up 0.65% today. Nothing like our friend Google that just extends. They're 302 and change. Congratulations, Day Trader LA. You got that level that you're looking for, 295. I hope that wasn't like an out level for you, because obviously I think you'd want to still be in, especially if you had a $25,000 loss. That must have turned into a $25,000 win right now.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I would love to. Everybody, I think, would love to hear an update, Day Trader LA, if you're here.
I don't know. If
celebrating. So again, I haven't seen him in the chat.
Celebrating?
Him or her? I'm not even sure. But good luck to you, and I really hope you take some profit on that. So I did wait. We're going to go to there in a quick little second, but I waited for Intel to fill the gap, and so it's filled the entirety of the gap. And once it got there on the 15, I'm short to the high. So wait for it. Just because you're patient doesn't mean it's going to work. But I was patient letting it get to the level. VWAP is pretty far away, almost 2 full %. So I do think that's a little bit more of a pipe dream. The quarters will be the first place we look to take some profit is let's go to Adara. Oh, shoot, it's already the small cap recap.
Ooh.
Time flies, and so does MP Materials. MP Materials here, or MP is the ticker. This one's going to be the first one on our small cap recap today. Now, obviously, slightly larger market cap, but it does have that parabolic quality, and they have a couple news stories. So first off, we did get a buy rating initiated here by Goldman Sachs with a $77 price target, but this is really on watch because of the other piece of news. And with that in mind, I have a sympathy play for you guys. TMC, the metals company, either way, metals, they do have here for TMC a 13% short float, and likely here on watch and sympathy with MP, which announced a partnership with the U.S. Department of, formerly known as Department of Defense, to establish a joint venture with the Saudi Arabian mining company to develop a rare earth refinery in the kingdom. So again, MP Saudi deal on watch here for TMC is sympathy. We also have AZI. This is a penny stock that made a really nice move this morning and is potentially trying to bounce a little bit here right now. AZI, AutoZi Internet Technology Limited, they have a roughly $10 million market cap as of this morning, and they signed a $1 billion cross-border sales cooperation agreement with Wanshan International. Before we send you back to Sean and Neil, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Because for too long, risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines. But guys, that is now changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access these markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit that profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. That's the revolution of limited risk trading, powered by Trade the Pool. So visit tradethepool.com now or scan the QR code to get 10% off your first evaluation. Make sure to like, subscribe as we send you back to Sean and Neil.
Thanks, Adair. A bit of a right turn, and Bitcoin came all the way back through VWAP, took it out at break even. That's where the stop was holding the last bit for the entirety of the gap fill, does not fill in the entire gap. So I still did add 20% on, looking for that last little push to the upside, but tried to let it work as much as it could. I'm in Intel, but that's not really caring what Bitcoin does. Remember, if we lose 90,000 today, it doesn't seem likely, but that's a false break. So if we lose the bid, you could still, it's all systems go for the Nasdaq, but it's not all systems go for Bitcoin. As much as that long worked out, we lose this bid here and you want to look short. And by the way, Circle is now at $71 and 7% down. That is a chance to go SSR. Do I have eyeballs? If they continue this move to the downside, I got eyeballs on Mara in particular, because that could be a little bit of a flat bottom break. And the good thing about the reason I like Mara here is I showed you Bitcoin was trending breaking higher. What did Mara not do? Never broke the high of the day. So I already know it's relatively weak. So next available pop on Mara, hopefully maybe the volume weighted average price, I don't know. Going to look for that one short as long as Bitcoin doesn't re-energize to the upside. Obviously, I'll be watching that closely. But Intel was the only new trade here. So we'll see if this ends up being the top. It's broken a little bit of a crazy trend to the upside. And if this is the top, great, but I still don't think this is an automatic all the way to VWAP. Got to watch the tape on this because the market has been pretty strong. And of course, remember, you're going into Nvidia earnings, right? So probably a lot of positioning in the chip names going into it. Nvidia, of course, investing in Intel as part of our circular bull market. In AI.
It's definitely a bull market in chips right now. We'll see if it can hold throughout the day.
Circle's
right
dead.
now, good trade there on
Circle's
IBIT.
Dead.
So that was a good one there for IBIT. But I just want to make sure that everybody hits the like right now. Only 1K of you, 8,500 watching. We got to get some more likes up in here, everybody. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and join us every single day here as we trade live for you. And hopefully, not hopefully, I know we're putting on good trades. So I hope that you guys are, enjoying the content and, having a good time trading with us here every single day live. I've only got the 2 positions on here today, but there's another out for Palantir. Comes right back up into the 50 period, the 200 period moving average, so good for that. I'm going to sit there and take that as it comes back up into that area. So we're going to get some more out on Palantir, and we are still sitting right here right now. I got impatient with waiting for that 410.60. It actually did wind up coming through again, but I took right there 410 flat on that break right there through. So that was okay. I gave up 60 cents on, like again, I only have, now I have 12.5% left. I'm taking out like 2.5%, 3% every time. So we're still waiting for that 412.50, see if we can blow that top and then get that back in. So that's what we're gonna wait for here on that and look for some more. Marvell having a nice comeback day as well today. As some of these chip names. I didn't buy more yesterday, but nice day there for Marvell, back to the upside. They had that little dip down there as SoftBank, did show some interest in Marvell apparently, and the story leaked that they were potentially buying or looking to buy either into Marvell or take the whole company as they try to link that up with ARM. But you could see right there, huge move over the last 5 days or so, all the way back in. So we're still long here at 72 or so, or 75, I think it was, just before earnings. And then we waited the 3 days and bought a good company at these lows. So that's where we wound up buying it. And then we only got a little bit out here around 90. And then we did not get anything out on that spike. That was like either in the pre-market or real quick and didn't get anything out there. So if we do come back up into 90 again, I should probably put an offer here at lunch, see if that hits in the next couple of days, especially if Nvidia hits tonight. That should be a good one. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now with Marvell. So we're going to look to see if we can pick some up. And then before we go over to Adara, which will be right now, I just want to see what Alibaba's doing. This is the area that I'm long here on Alibaba. So, potentially something here as well for anybody looking to dip by Alibaba. It got as low as 152 on that warning there from the White House. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, we're going to take a look here at a post from Donald Trump on Truth Social that is, of course, the president of the U.S. I bring this up because it actually involves NVIDIA. He just posted this 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, quoting Jensen Huang. And I guess the quote is, as promised, production of Blackwell has started. AI, invented in America, made in America, built for America and the world. So we know Jensen Huang has been at the White House there, and I guess is involved also from what I've seen in this U.S.-Saudi investment summit. Donald Trump liking his quote and putting it out there with regards to American AI. So that is of note. I also do want to mention here, too, that we still have comments coming from White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett, who is also seen as one of the front runners for the Fed chair position. And he seems to continue to be comparing himself with Powell, which he's done over the last couple interviews saying, quote, I wouldn't say inflation was transitory if it wasn't. So Kevin Hassett, I guess, trying out for Fed chair, as it were. And it looks like Donald Trump is continuing to post Jensen Huang quotes on Truth Social. So keep an eye on those. They seem to keep coming. Back to you.
Thank you, Darren. Trying out for, I like that term, trying out for Fed chair. Well, you got to. Go for it. We get the Fed meeting minutes. Don't know how much of a big deal that's going to be when you weigh that against Nvidia tonight. And don't forget Palo Alto as well. I feel like cybersecurity has been absolutely fantastic, but they haven't necessarily been doing the best. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, so gotta zoom in a little bit for you guys there. I hate when those charts go haywire like that. They've been underneath that 50. The crowd may be a little bit better, but this could easily see the 200 period. We've seen this stock the last couple of times dump on earnings and then kind of continue in. Like this pulled back and gave you 20 to 25% of a dip buy. So I think if that happens, you got to be ready for a bit of a bigger move on Palo Alto. I haven't checked to see. I'll double check. We'll double check later what the expected move is on PanW. But I will not be surprised if and when this is a bigger move than Tesla, not Tesla, but Nvidia. I just feel like that's going to be the case here for Palo Alto based on what it's been doing the last couple of times in here. So far, so good. And 90,000, I think, is going to break on IBIT. So
oh,
Bitcoin,
shit. That's the level that I'm supposed to be trading.
Yeah, like we're breaking, where are we at right now? 90, we just broke 91, so 98, so 90,800 as we continue to flush. Obviously, that means Mara did not pop, so not going to get any kind of pop into Mara. I want to be short into 90, so the first available, I guess, push higher, because that's pretty bearish to me. It's not so much that it's down, it's like, look at the false break. Very different from yesterday. Held the trend until late in the afternoon. This is a serious breakdown. Feels like to me like if you're going to do this, you're going to get to that 90 for a test. I just feel like tomorrow is going to be weaker, so that's the one I want to go to. I'm pretty sure we have free locates on this. Yes, we do. Just got to double check. But this is the one. First available couple of pushes up. Try to take the rollover on the way to 90,000 on BTC. We'll see if it holds up. Be careful if you're in BM&R. Can't imagine that's doing very well in here today.
Oh man, yeah, the scams continue. Look, I was always waiting for this IBIT short at 51.50. So when it breaks, we're going to take it short 51.50 on IBIT. We just waited for that trade, and again, patience is going to pay, man. One more time here, so we'll wait for it. It is a big day. I want to thank everybody for hitting the like. Now we're up to 1.3K. So I got to say to everybody, awesome. And thank you so much for doing that. And for continuous. I think it's a little bit cold here, yeah, for sure.
I don't feel that bad.
Here's $10, Randy, for you on Tesla. Just 10, yeah, just small little 10. You must be buying lunch. $10 level. If that would be the case, then yeah. But there it is, man. Nice move up there for Tesla. Now 411's coming through, and of course, because Randy's here, let's call up some Rivian right now. 1480, not doing much. Actually down today, Rivian, down 1.5%. What a move they had, Randy, obviously there. And, you know, as the squeeze was sort of on, there's still a short float associated with Rivian. That's pulling back into your 50-period moving average. So I know you're still waiting for some more shares down here, but hopefully, yeah, if it gets back into these levels, this looks great, man, between $10 and $11. We'll see if that can hold. But normally, Randy, the 200 period is something you want to look for. So right now, $13 looks to be some, you know, get up to that name. So we can see if 13 wants to wind up holding for that. But here we go, man. It's now, IBIT has now been activated. So let's wait to see what happens with IBIT. We are now short right here at 49. So it's actually, we have 49.5. So we must have ran into a dark pool. But here we go, man. Short IBIT. And the oh boy trade of the day is right here. And oh boy, it is Tesla. 411 and change, man. I mean, this is the highest it's been at. We still have a decent percentage on right now, so we're just going to keep on holding this and see. I'm still at 412.50 right now, but it looks like it doesn't want to go too much past this 411. All right, I'm just going to put another 2% up here at 411. Let's go to 410.75. You know, if we can get it, fine. But, you know, the market may be turning around here right now. So we've taken out a lot of this trade, but, you know, the Nasdaq is now starting to go. We didn't quite get to 25,000. It was a monster move higher, both in the ES and in the Nasdaq today. So well traded, well spotted right there. But here comes Palantir. I'm going to get another piece out in the 50s as we didn't get our 169.25s. So we'll take that out right now. And here we go, man. It's IBIT. You know, the trade that we wanted, we got it. It's IBIT. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, the market is not going to be. We're not going to hold on if Bitcoin breaks 90,000. I don't think. At least a dip buy. Like the tech names have been strong, but I am now thinking VWAP on Intel. I wasn't before, but if I see the breakdown happening in crypto, I am now looking for the volume weighted average price. I zoomed out a little bit, and you can kind of see why. Look at the range the last time we were here, 35.7. Right down into 35.1. So that's a target area. There. Those are the reasons to get out, and that's what we're going to do if it gets there. Also, watch out for your Google if you happen to be in this one. It's retesting $300 right now. VWAP will be like 297. But forget about VWAP for a second. This is a big enough move that sometimes you want to look at those prior highs. So like 298 and 294, almost more so than the volume weighted average price. That's what I'd pay attention to. So now we're starting to get that movement. Sitting in Intel on that trend break for it to now start to come back in. But I know the range that I want, and that'll be down to 35.10. So basically looking for about 1.5 even increments here on INTC. The crypto bleed continues. So it just got the first fill. And again, could scalp, but let it play the move, right? Like this is the area you're getting out up here. Let it play in. Like let it move and then start getting out as opposed to, you know, not giving it some chance to work here. If you're setting it up on a 15-minute time frame, then sometimes you're taking fills on a 15-minute time frame as well.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I don't have any fills yet on IBIT. I'm going to wait to see where this downside winds up going. To be honest with you. All right. And then just as an update, I took some more out on Tesla there, 409.50. We're light on it, but there's still a P&L attached to all these trades, so we have to watch out for that. MSTR probably getting crushed right now. Let's go IBIT, man. Like, we're going to go 3 for 3 today. Like, we always talk about it, but like, I've only traded 3 names, and I just looked. I think Neil's almost about double that, which is fine. It's just we're looking for opportunities, right? Be very specific in what you're doing. You know, it doesn't matter. You can make 1 trade, 10 trades, 400 trades, as long as, you know, you've got a plan of action, and always think about risk first. That's the one thing that I do. I just think about, like, how many shares do I want to go? Where's my out? What do I think, right? And I can just tell you, like, this stop on Tesla was a 400 break. You know, $1. Like, and thing is, it's not hindsight. Like, if you just rewind this to 9:40 when I was getting into the trade, I mean, you can do it, go back an hour. I was telling you guys, we zoomed out, we were looking for levels here, and, you know, we talked about right into here. If this broke, we wanted to get out. We also even went back to this. Remember, I was like, get this garbage out of here, down here at 399.50. So that was sort of the risk spot for me, 399.50. We're long at 401, so that's $2 there. I think that's well worth it as we extend back there to the upside. Now, again, some of these outs, 404, like VWAP is $2, $2.50. So get some out, get that 1-to-1. And I don't use ratios like that. I'm just trying to show you that if you do, you know, get a little aggressive, this is a great market to do that in. Some of these moves can really start to fly, right? And so, but we're going to wait for IBIT. I am bidding right now at 41s. To see that's that sort of bottom where we are right now, and then let's just watch the bottom really come out right now of IBIT. I think that may be the case. I wanted to check out what Zcash was doing. I mean, I brought this to everybody this morning because we were talking about it last night, and shout out to Adam, did a great job. I'll be with somebody else tomorrow, so shout out to Adam there yesterday. Decent job, my guy. But this is what Zcash is doing right now, like just straight to the downside here from 10 o'clock. But 650 still. I'm so surprised. I know nothing about this, so I don't want to be like, you know, this is a buy or a sell. I don't know, but
it's like a daily on that.
That was a daily. No, the daily was
the daily.
No. The daily was $80 up to 750.
Okay.
All right. So here he goes. This is what Bitcoin looks like right now with a 1-minute chart. So there it goes, man, straight to the downside. And guess what? The 3 for 3 day hopefully is here. We just get that 41 fill coming through for us on IBIT. Now let's see how low can we go on this monster here. IBIT maybe gets a little low. We're not in a huge position here for IBIT, but I like it, and we'll see if we can get lower on that one. Good talk about Tesla as we were able to get out there and hold less than that 10% now. And you know what? On the way down, I'm okay. Let's take it out at 408.20. Let's take another piece out. So now we're down to 7.5%. Maybe we don't get that 412, but I think we should maybe just stop out if it breaks 407 as it's coming back in real aggressive. And the name that's not coming back in is Palantir. So let's take this opportunity. We are now 20 minutes away from me being done right now, and you'll see me back at 2 o'clock. And join me during the midday as I'll be posting some of the trades that I take. There's a big, huge request to see more than just the midday guys trade. So once that system gets back up and running, we will be here to support that request. So we're just going to try to figure that out, what the best way of doing that. We used to have more Trader TV Live, and that's we just don't show our positions.
It was a little buggy, the more Trader.
Yeah, it never. For me, it was 100% buggy, and I think that's why we pulled it off, right? So
yeah.
Once it gets,
if it's not working,
I want to bring you guys.
The problem with it was sometimes it's one thing to maybe have the wrong price, but it would also occasionally have the wrong direction, which is, you know, that's not useful. If we can get something going, trust me, we're going to. I believe we do need to see how that sector board is doing with the DARA. Do we have any strength? Possibly, just not in crypto.
Yeah, guys, we actually do have quite a bit of strength here, specifically in tech, finance, health technology, and producer manufacturing. So starting with producer manufacturing, because this one's actually pretty interesting. The 4 largest components of this sector, AMAT, GEV, LRCX, and CAT, or Caterpillar, they're all going to be green today. Consumer durable is actually not bad too, being held up by Tesla and GM. Health technology, Eli Lilly once again pushing higher. This one right now almost at $1,050 and up 1.5%. Now finance, with the notable exception of BRKB, is actually really strong today as well. Robinhood up 3.5%. We'll talk here about tech, though, because tech is where a lot of this strength lies, specifically electronic technology. Nvidia on watch ahead of earnings and getting a boost from a series of Truth Social posts from U.S. President Donald Trump. He just posted 3 truths in rapid succession, all of which quoted some comments made by Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang with regards to specifically AI chip manufacturing in the States. But Broadcom is also strong, Intel, KLAC, Cisco. So it's not just Nvidia here for electronic tech, but of course that one's going to be the one to watch, especially ahead of earnings tonight. Tech service is doing pretty well as well. Google and Oracle to the upside, though Netflix is a bit weak. Now, in terms of weak sectors, retail, trade, utilities, with the exception of CEG, and energy minerals are really going to be where the weakest stocks are, particularly energy minerals, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. Going to make a slight adjustment because buyers come in wherever they happen to. So I was looking for a little bit of a press into 30 here. And again, just going into the higher time frame. Like I wanted to be getting some out, a few pennies underneath, but the buyers came in above that level. So it double bottomed on the 3 minutes. So I'm going to jump out and now wait for the volume weighted average price. I haven't gotten to the point where I'd move a trailing stop into here, still kind of giving it back into the break even. So again, just a small change here. And then you could possibly shorted anything. Like I looked over at SMCI, could have gone into SMCI, but it kind of like at a random area. Like there was nothing really about that would make me get short. Maybe you could go to VWAP, but you pick one and then go to it. Like that's kind of the way I look at it. I trade more symbols that way, but I find for my style of trading where I'm looking for something that's either at VWAP or making a trend break, those tend to happen, one happens here, then one happens there, as opposed to the same name over and over again, at least for myself. But some of these chips not looking as good. Bitcoin continues to be relatively weak. Mara does not want to even bounce a little bit. Got to have eyeballs on the prior low. Want to short this one before we get to 90K on Bitcoin.
Or do they? Our chat is like, so this week we have Shadur starting. So I've got it just for fun. Shadur Sanders is starting finally.
Who do they play?
I don't know.
Please have the defense. Please.
I don't know who it is. Yeah, he's going to be a maniac this week.
You know what though?
Cleveland's defense is pretty good.
I think he'll do way better than because when you come in and you haven't had any reps,
he'll be fine.
What do you expect from the guy? He hasn't had a chance to play with the starters all year, and then they throw him into the fire, and then
Yeah, I mean they'll be running Judkins a lot, I would assume, as well.
Cleveland.
We have Josh Jacobs issues in Green Bay, but I picked up the guy that's always hurt there, Marshawn over there.
On
Green Bay.
Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah, Marshawn Lloyd. Yeah. He, I know there's the other guy, Wilson, there, but I think Lloyd's going to be hopefully healthy this week.
If Lloyd's healthy, he's a good player, man.
Yeah, he just can't.
Oh, you can't start.
He just can't stay healthy.
Dude, he's got a good game to play the Raiders.
Yeah, perfect. Dak just threw 4 touchdowns. Okay, so
worst game
right now, man, here goes IBIT. We got this one as well, 3 for 3. Oh, and thank you so much there. I did see that chat up there. Thank you for the $2, man. Christopher Ocean, thank you for the great trades. You're welcome. And the great trades you're talking about, I guess, here. IBIT, boom, right there. That's a huge one. Palantir, monstrous. And then Tesla, oops, Brittany. We did it again on Tesla. So monster day, big time green, and the best day for me this month. So that's going to be good for sure. Considering that, we didn't have a bad day yesterday, that's for sure, but this is going to be a little bit better. I'm going to take out, we've only got out of 20%. I'm going to put another bid here at 32. Sorry, I'm not even on the right stock on IBIT. So there it is. We get that fill. So here comes IBIT right back in again. So these are all, join me at 8:30 every day. We talked about literally all of these trades that I have on. The 3 for 3 today, all talked about at 8:30. So hopefully you guys are able to join us every single day. Sharif, Brendan, Neil, myself, Joe, at 8:30, and you can get these trades and get them all locked and loaded right there. So it's been a big green day right there. What's up, Patty? What's up, everybody there in the chat? Wear my best Brittany outfit. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. you know, is in the dry cleaners right now. So, yeah, so far so good, man. Everybody, yeah, make sure you do your own work. But if you want to follow something, we've been pretty on fire. I've been pretty on fire lately, so have a check there. More outs there on IBIT. We just got a 28 there as well. So, all right, that's it. I'm pretty much done. There's only 13 minutes left. It's been a great day. Great atmosphere there in the back. What a skyline. What an opportunity that we have for everybody to,
That's interesting.
you know, join us with this next new phase of our rollout here.
That's new.
What?
The continuation of the skyline.
Yeah, they put it at the bottom there.
It's like foggy, so it kind of looks a little. You can really, it is pretty cool. And the one that was trying to get up there, that CN Tower thing, I think is a bit of a fail. I don't think it'll be any good because it wasn't. It doesn't like it's not a real panoramic from the CN Tower, the free feed that they have. Nerios asking risks of trading TQQ versus the Qs intraday with 400K all in and out market orders with nominal amount stop loss slippage. What order strategy works the best? I don't trade them, so I wouldn't know the slippage.
The slippage is zero.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen the level 2. The slippage shouldn't be much of anything.
Yeah.
Like the way, if you look at most strategies, the limiting factor in any strategy is liquidity, right? So your trade is your trade, and you only have to worry about, you know, your executions and getting outside of your risk parameters if liquidity becomes a concern. That's why when people call up a stock and they're like, oh, can you take a look at this small capper and it's done like 200,000 shares on the day? Well, you can't trade it because liquidity is trash. So therefore, no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to make it work the way that you want to. But yeah, the Qs are plenty liquid. What you have to worry about there is people running stops more so than anything else. Circle continues to be dead, by the way. It's down 8% now. This is going to, at some point in the next couple of days, we see that IPO open price. Because I want to say it was 69 even. It's hard to like, I'm just kind of lining it up on the chart. Like this one I lined up says like 68.7, but I feel like it opened at an even dollar. It's now $1 away from the IPO open price on Circle. Unbelievable. I think they defend something. They're not defending much of anything, but I would imagine that day one low or the IPO open is going to get defended on Circle. And if we break 90,000, we're getting there some point today. So just waiting for VWAP on Intel. We sat in it, waited for it to happen. It did a trend break, so sometimes the trend break works, sometimes they don't. In this particular case, I think obviously an assist from the market, but it was going to be binary one way or the other. And CRCL, I don't know if I'm saying that right, didn't look at open door today. Down almost 10%. So this feels different, clearly. Like it just seems like we're on the back end of it again on open door. Probably should have been looking for this for a short, but not. At least wait until, I'd almost say the $5 level for this again. Like where else would you try to stick it in? That's where they bought after the earnings dip. That's about the only thing that looks any good here on open door, almost 10% down. This will probably get SSR today. Dara?
Let's talk about this US dollar because this US dollar is actually really strong today, guys. Look at this push to the upside. This candle kind of significant here, and this uptrend certainly continuing again from that September 17th low. Now, of course, September 17th actually a Fed day, so interesting look. And this actually mirrors a lot of the action that we saw at the end of last year as well with the US dollar. Interestingly enough, that base is actually around where we're trading right now, but we had this base here starting with the end of September, and we had that bidding up here basically in the US dollar for the rest of the year. So keep an eye on this type of action. Looks like we're trying to mirror that, albeit again lower on the chart with this action at the end of 2025. We have to talk about the CME Fed Watch tool because, guys, 50-50. We are exactly 50-50 now. 50.0% of participants expecting that rates are going to be held. 50.0% of participants expecting a 25 basis point cut. So the fact that we're split is going to make it, I think, a bit interesting for the market if we don't necessarily have a decision priced in right away. Now, again, we do have a couple more weeks. We are going to be getting some economic data with regards to employment tomorrow, and that could potentially shake things, especially with many Fed members saying that that side of the equation, specifically with the labor market, is what they're weighing pretty heavily. But we'll have to wait and see. Either way, things are getting more and more interesting by the day with that FOMC decision. And really quickly, I'll be brief here to be self-indulgent. The Fed chair search continues, and I bring this up now because we do have U.S. President Donald Trump saying yesterday that he actually knows already who he's picking, or he's pretty sure he knows who he's picking. He said it could be somebody from the system, but it could also be a bit of a surprise. Now, Kevin Hassett, for his part, is widely favored, I'm seeing from a lot of these prediction markets, as the #1 choice, and he's actually used a lot of his recent interviews to more or less kind of try out, for lack of a better term, for that Fed chair position, comparing himself to Powell. So we'll have to wait and see here who becomes the next Fed chair, but it looks like U.S. President Donald Trump, at the very least, already knows who he wants. Back to you.
I mean, who we want is someone that's going to be pro-crypto, but I don't know if that matters for the Fed, of course. But here comes IBIT, monster move down, now 30 cents in the money as we continue to bleed lower. Good trading there. We did get stopped out. We punched ourselves out of Palantir right there at 167.50. We had very, very small. We put a 169 there and just got that 10 minutes ago. So, so far so good there. And then we took out some Tesla right there at VWAP again at 407. So now we have 5% left. If this breaks 405, we'll get out and we'll deal with Tesla a little bit later. But, you know, it's almost about that time. Today's flavors of India for lunch. And the most famous Indian dish of all time, at least for, you know, most people that aren't Indian.
I know what that is.
Right here. Wow, IBIT. We just got 14s there. What a call on that IBIT, by the way. There it goes, breaking 90,000. Today's butter chicken with potato and cauliflower vegetables, basmati rice, cucumber and onion. Oh, we like that. Tomato salad. That's what's for lunch. Butter chicken, baby. That should be pretty good. We'll see what's on our plate here with the salads.
It'd be weird to have butter chicken on a salad. But
it would be. And I know you were
probably what they'll do.
Yeah, probably. We'll see. Hopefully not. I know you had IBIT long, but right now it's the short that has absolutely crushed City right here. We were very, very patient, man. We waited. We indicated this level to everybody real early in the day. That 51.50 breaking right into here. Actually, it must have been on, I think it was right here. Yeah, right there. So there's the level there, 51.50. That's the level that we wanted. And hey, man, if you're a trader and you want a level, take it. It came in. We took it. There it goes. Crushing right now. IBIT down to that downside. So IBIT, I like it. I like it a lot right now on that downside for IBIT. And it's just, the bleed is on right now for crypto. So I'm going to put another bid right here at 07. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. And maybe we do, because there it is, comes right in immediately there. So it's another 42-cent winner. So 3 for 3 on the day. And yeah, we're cooking, man. This is about to break. So we are going to get out here of Tesla. Monster trade. We don't wind up making as much as yesterday, but it was very similar trade right there. And just being a little more conservative today on that, because I don't know why, but nice move to the downside there for Tesla right now. So congratulations. We sort of sniffed this out, man. This is where I was like, oh, we should be short. And that's why we started to piece out this Tesla trade up here and Palantir and everything. And we flipped over into the short. So yeah, man, we got it. We got it both ways. We got the longs and the shorts here today. So far, so good.
Yeah, and congrats, but my short's out. I just don't feel like it's a strong stock. Like Bitcoin's weak. This is strong. Intel, you still have earnings to come through, and at the same time as we got to VWAP, the Nasdaq came to VWAP too. So it's just like a standard reverted back into the volume weighted average price. And if we continue lower, maybe look for VWAP as a short underneath a little bit later on. Something else happened, by the way. I don't have an order for this in yet, but I'm probably going to. Meat broke $1 again. So the dollar hasn't mattered outside of when it broke up. But I paid for locates every single day this week, and it hasn't happened. Wow. But if it happens today, we lose 99, I'm just going short on this flat bottom break. It's essentially, if we break 99, I just look for it to get down to 90 from before. So that's the move. Unlikely to have an order out because I'm not in position, so I can just do it myself. If I was in a bunch of stuff or thinking I might get up, I might put a stop order in, but this is one. Beyond Meat, whatever, if it breaks 99 cents, you're going to get filled if you try to do it manually, unless it's going to be SSR. And yeah, the market just continuing to bleed a little bit here. Mara almost at the lows. I feel like we just lost 90,000. So if there is any bounce at 90, it's Mara that I want to jump into the short. The irony of today is I'm not into the whole like how many win loss whatever, because sometimes I'm 2 for 5 and up, and sometimes I'm 4 for 5 and it doesn't really matter. Like today's a good day, but the frustration for me will be simply Circle. I had slight, look, it is what it is. At 9:30, sometimes you have slow order types. But I was trying to get back into this one, and my orders weren't accepting on anything for like about 3 or 4 seconds. And that was exactly when I wanted to get into Circle. But this stock is in major trouble. Major trouble, and I think a defense is possibly coming at that IPO issue price, which is now not issued. I think it was issued at like 40-something. Open, which was about $69. That's now less than $1 away here. It'll be close to short sell restricted if it tests that low, that 10% to the downside. So I might look for a mean revert on this trade as well. And Dara, what do you have?
Yeah, just be aware here, guys. CNBC right now streaming live. It looks like Elon Musk and Jensen Huang at this U.S. Saudi Investment Forum. They're doing a panel. Again, this is a CNBC live stream. And we already kind of heard things suggesting they'd both be appearing together. So again, looks like they're at this panel. I'm watching this stream. If there's anything interesting, I'll let you know. Back to you.
All right, there it is. You are welcome, Ronnie. Yeah, just continues, man. There goes IBIT to the downside. I'm glad some of you were trusting in the trades today as we go. You know, like Neil said, man, and not every day is going to be a green day, but today for me, definitely one of
hopefully
those.
most.
Hopefully most. That's it, man. Hopefully most. Yeah, IBIT, just a monster play. So we're really seeing the board great, man. This has been a great run of weeks here for trading. Okay, super chat, perfect. We already did this already. Yeah,
no,
that's okay.
One.
That's okay. Unless there is another one.
Another one.
Okay, you can go.
I got it.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Adam? Thoughts going into it?
I think under the expected move. Because like, Jensen gave us that talk where he outlined everything that you would have kind of expected to see. So it's like, what's the surprise? I don't know what the surprise is going to be with Nvidia, but we'll see. I kind of feel like it's just going to be inside the expected move. And then Palo Alto is probably the one that shocks us.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts are, I think there's big upside in Nvidia, man. I mean, it's down quite a lot from the top there. It's just hovering around. We know their numbers are going to be aggressive, and they should be, you know, obviously right in line with what the analysts are expecting. So I think that's where I don't think we're going to get like a monstrous move or anything like that on Nvidia as well. But I think there's an opportunity for them to guide higher. I mean, if they start talking about, it's the Vera Rubin, isn't it? Sharif is their next one. Their next chip, the Rubin? Right, so I think that if they could talk positively about that and the expectation there and maybe some of the back orders or whatever that they have, that would be something that, you know, I think could really blast this market, right, back there to the upside. So it's a 40 PE. It's more aggressive than the market, but do you really want to sell your Nvidia? I don't, and I'm not sure that anybody else does on whatever the report comes through. If it gets sold, I just think it's a buying opportunity, Adam. So I'm going to just hold on to the shares that I have. I mean, you know, regardless of where you're long, you know, you got to make a decision. And for someone to predict, you know, what a major company is going to do, the most, I mean, their revenues are $55 billion. Like, I don't really know, you know, like their yearly revenues of $250 billion, we'll see what their guide's going to be for next year, but that's greater than pretty much every stock out there. Like, there's Trillion Club stocks, but if you think about Nvidia, that's just their revenues. So, you know, there is some room for error. It's amazing how on these analysts are most of the time with some of their predictions. But
if they do the expected move, that's bigger than like all but what, 20? I don't know. I forget
there's so much cash on the side, right? Like Google, yeah, Neil, today added how many billions of dollars?
It's insane.
I mean, Google's up 5%. It's already a $3.5 trillion name or something. So 5% on $3 trillion. You know, 150 billion. Like, there's a lot of opportunity here for traders to get in, and I don't think it's too late. So, but you know what? Microsoft had good earnings. Google had good earnings. All these names had good earnings, and some of them gave back.
Amazon gave back.
Amazon gave.
Meta gave back.
Amazon's not even.
Well, I mean,
Meta was not great, but
yeah,
they all had quarters that we thought were great, and they pulled back. So if you're talking about a recipe right now, it might not be butter chicken. but it's spicy, and we're going to wait to see what winds up happening there. Good covers on IBIT. I only have 25% left on IBIT as it just covered through 51. Like, to get 50 cents on that, I mean, that was pretty aggressive. We basically nailed that whole move there on IBIT. All right, man, it's 101. Great day trading today. Jerk chicken would be so good, Sam.
We haven't had jerk chicken in forever. It used to be a staple.
I think I'm going to make that request.
It used to be something we got like a couple times a month. I feel like maybe they just, I don't know. There's no, it's such a solid thing. The only beef I would have, not very spicy.
No, wow.
It was very.
We got to appease the masses. I mean, it's too spicy for Adara as is.
Yeah, it's got.
We got to make sure that when
you're with catering.
That's the problem with catering.
Yeah. They can't go overboard, which I want to feel some heat.
Yeah, well, we're going overboard now. Thanks, everybody.
It's all good.
We'll see you guys at